you in here? I love you guys because y'all know I had to go steal y'all from Instagram right quick. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me. And as you can see, how do guys look okay? Can you hear me?
It's wonky.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna have to move. I'm gonna have to go into my bedroom. I see it going in and out.
Okay, now you sound better.
But
Yeah.
your lips are off.
Oh no.
Got to pull that router close to your heart.
Bring it in.
I'm gonna work on it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I hope that you can hear me. Maybe if I talk slower, you can hear me. I don't want to move because my life is over here. Anyway, we are here to review episode 8 of Ready to Love Potomac, guys. And I have 3 amazing special people here with me to review it with me, okay? So I have Gustavo here to my left, my right. I have Tyrone underneath me, and then I have Jamie here diagonal in the corner. So before we even get started, because we're going to do it towards the end as well, go ahead and stay with us. Just letting everyone know who you are, because this is the first time you've been on my channel, reviews, and just to let everybody know, I used to watch Gus and Jamie all the time when my season was on. I just had to go from here. Everyone at the time. There's only a group of users that I watched, and these were actually one of the ones that I watched on Jamie's channel, and that was. So I'm so honored to have them here with me, actually reviewing Ready to Love with me. So this is amazing. But anyway, let's go ahead and enjoy yourself. And I'm going to try to figure out this router thing, and I'll be right back.
I think that was my cue to say something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Hi, my name is Gustavo Carr, maybe Gus Carr if you know me from my acting career, my dancing career. And I actually just sit back and talk with Jamie, who is a professional host in doing this. And it's our first time after knowing each other for 20 years to actually delve into a TV show and have a conversation about it. And it felt natural because that's what we do every day on the phone together anyways for the last 20 years. And we're both so in love with love and loving the process of watching the human experience unfold, especially in these aspects. So we started jumping on this bandwagon last season and became the biggest fans of the show, Sabrina specifically. And we loved watching Tyrone in it too. And now Jamie and I do it every week about Ready to Love. When thankfully it's been working out that we are able to do it. And we have such a great time because it helps us with our dating lives in real life as well. We're all just trying to master that and figure out this thing called love, right? And I say it every time. It's such an honor to be able to watch these people like Sabrina, Tyrone, this cast on this season, put themselves out there and be open and vulnerable for us to watch and learn just as much as they are. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Thanks for having me.
Okay, and what Gus has left out is he's like a movie star and a super famous dancer. I mean, you mentioned that, but I love doing the show with you. I'm so glad we got an opportunity to do that. So yeah, we do it Friday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific time. And we just be talking about Ready to Love.
That's it. Real simple.
Gus,
filtered
you feel ready
sometimes,
to love?
unfiltered sometimes.
I know. Sometimes we go in. Sometimes it's like.
Depends on the day, the mood, wherever the mood is at this.
Don't it feel good to go in, though?
It kind of does.
It does sometimes. The hard part with me, though, is because if I'm going in, I know there's how many fingers are pointing back at me when I do that. So I'm like, if I'm going in at somebody, I know that I'm like, oh, shit. What's going on in here? How am I seeing that so clearly within somebody else? There must be something going on that I'm missing within myself. And sometimes it's affirmation that I'm not. Sometimes it's affirmation that, going on yourself too, literally go in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's back and clear. Can we hear you?
Really? Am I?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, there you are, girl.
Okay, because I've been moving it. If I move it a little bit more, I might. I'm going to stay still. Okay.
It's like the dial-up days.
Right, exactly. Okay. So Jamie, did you introduce yourself yet?
Yeah, I'm an on-camera host. I was on AfterBuzz TV for 3 years. I did Pop Fusion TV. I've done a ton of interviews and red carpets all over for so many things. I love talking to people and gaining perspectives and just seeing what different and unique is going on out there, because it helps me understand my experience, the human experience, and just grow and learn to connect with people. So yeah, you can follow me on my YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever, and I'll keep you entertained with some kind of conversation I'm having.
Facts.
That's
And
it.
Tyrone, I mean, everyone knows you because you're famous and you're a star, but I feel like you should absolutely still introduce yourself, just in case, because it could be newbies in here.
Yeah, it's tough keeping it up with it all. But I did start a YouTube channel focusing on mental health. A lot of different topics. I took last weekend off. I'm going to get back into it this weekend. I love doing the panels. I love going on the IG lives. But I'm going to start getting back into my cybersecurity career, because that's where most people like really know me from. But it's all good. I'm happy to be here, and we're going to have some fun as usual.
Yay.
And cheers to that Jameson and ginger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
Yeah. And also to Gus and Jamie, you guys do have a YouTube channel as well. Did you say what your YouTube channel handle was so everyone can go over there and follow you after this live?
Yeah, so we do our after show on my YouTube, which you can find with my name here, and it's spelled Jaimi. A little unique concoction my mom came up with to spell my name. But we're on Friday nights at 8 p.m. PST on my YouTube channel. And then, you can follow me on Instagram, but Gus too.
That's my Instagram. Yeah, I'm not too heavy on the YouTube these days. Usually I'm just on the gram if I'm on anything. I don't try to indulge too much. But yeah, that's we're on Jamie's platform. Come hang out with us, and yeah, we have a great time. That's for sure.
Yes, they do. I am firsthand person to let you guys know they absolutely have a great time. They are a different glass of champagne, honey, and I love every sip of it.
Hey.
Yeah, you know,
like
that
that.
Cristal. We try to sip on that Cristal,
Right. Exactly. Okay. So, as I said earlier in the beginning, guys, we are going to be reviewing Ready to Love, episode 8. And this episode, what can I say? Because it's a lot to say. I'm just going to say that this season did kind of start off slow. It did start to pick up. And now I'm starting to see, especially with this new trailer that they showed for next week, I just feel like it's getting messier and messier and messier and messier. And I know Tyrone is here for it. Okay. I know Tyrone loves it. And yeah, but I'm here for it too, because guess what? Me and Tyrone always says, you know what? It ain't us this time. So
yeah, that was the big thing. Like the people's going in on us talking about, the season. There was a lot. I think there was comments about the less mess, right? And everyone's more straightforward and wants relationships and all that stuff. And I was just like, we will see. You know what I mean? It's still early. Let's get it. So when the mess does come, it's more like me saying, not saying I told you so that they were going to be messy, but just I told you so that mess was going to come eventually.
Facts.
It's a TV show.
Yeah.
Has to, that's unfortunately why we all watch it. That's the entertainment part of it.
We're definitely here for it, honey, because it ain't us. All right. Episode 8 starts with the men's lounge. And this episode is pretty much meet the homeboys, meet the homies. Okay. Nephew Tommy, is it Uncle Tommy? Nephew Tommy is pretty much going around the table. He's talking to them. And of course, they show the previews from last episode. And you guys know that we reviewed last episode. You can go back into my archives to check that out. But that's pretty much it. Is the fellas are meeting the ladies are meeting the homies. Last week they met the exes. So it's getting interesting. And I think it's still kind of crazy that we're meeting family and best friends and exes. I thought it was kind of interesting, even though I've watched previous seasons, but to actually live it and go through it, it's kind of like in the sense, we're going to give an example, like I always do, like Sean meeting my friends. I was like, I don't know him. I was like, I've only known him for like a week. Like, why he meeting my friends? They gonna be like, why he here? I just don't understand. And I'm gonna be like, girl, I don't understand either. And it just got really, really complicated. And then it got ugly. And then it just made me look a certain type of way. And I was like, it ain't my fault though. I just did. I was doing the thing. So we then start off with. Does anyone have anything to say before I do this?
I did think it was funny how Tommy Miles got on PO about his shirt. He was like, bruh, like he was a real G. Like you wrinkled right all up in here. It's a little too much. Get it together.
Why?
Thanks, Tommy. You know.
Why did he call him?
He called him out.
That was so embarrassing. Like,
but what's worse? To be out there
it.
wrinkled or
Yeah, he came in with a crisp shirt later on in the episode, and what he said was so he could cut it with a banana or something like that.
Yeah.
It was.
I was like, hey, what a banana. Okay.
I mean, I felt like my mom was on TV because she gets on me still to this day about my shirts not being ironed or not. You know, she's like, nobody wants to see a wrinkled shirt. That's so unattractive. Who's gonna like that? And you know, us guys are like, even myself being as gay as I can be, I'm still like, who cares about wrinkles? Like, what do you mean? But so for Tommy to be like, you better get your wrinkled shirt, I was like, maybe I should make sure my shirts aren't wrinkled. Tommy, Mom, thank you.
And we'd be over there like, girl, did you see how wrinkled his shirt was? I got no home training.
And that dryer does not make it. I mean, you got to take an iron to the shirt to get it crisp, right? You slice and dice.
Yeah, and I don't even iron my clothes because in real life, all my clothes fit so tight and they stretch. I don't need to iron. I just put it on, and it just the wrinkles just stretch.
But you know, there is a hack to add an ice cube to the dryer to get that moist and that steam going, and it actually really does work as a hack to knock the wrinkles out. Throw
thanks for telling me 20 years later.
I know. You know, I just. There's just a lot of knowledge in here.
I just put like a wet something in there, and I'm always like, I'm not satisfied with this. But ice cube, condensation, I see the science. Delicious. Thank you for that.
That is amazing because they do say you can hang your clothes up while you're taking a shower, like put it on a hanger and hang it in the shower with, not in the shower, but in the bathroom with you, and it'll knock some of the wrinkles out. I tried it before. That crap didn't work. But anyway.
That'd have to be a
it has to be hot.
2-hour shower.
You might be able to put your clothes on after that because you'll be sweating too long afterwards.
Right.
Like it's counterintuitive.
Exactly. Okay, sir. So first we have Chill Bill, which is Paul's friend.
Of course it is.
Yes. And
the
Paul,
names.
Yes, Chill Bill. And I figured it, and I knew it was going to be somebody that had like a nickname because I was like, Paul has a nickname, and I'm sure all his friends have nicknames. So I just thought that was like really kind of cute. And I was like, it was expected. But anywho, they definitely sit down. About to share my screen. They definitely sit down, and Paul is meeting with Carmen and Dakia. He said that he had reached out to Tina, but unfortunately Tina was MIA and she was being evasive.
Tina's done with y'all, aka Tina is finished.
Yeah.
Tina's smart.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
Evade Tina.
Pretty much Chuck the deuces.
She sure did.
In real
and
life.
I mean, let's be honest. He don't really like Tina. He's in lust of Tina because she's a hot, pretty young thing.
And she's younger and PYT.
He likes his acronyms, PYT, POJ. Like he felt like that was a fit. You know, he was like home run. No, bro, you need more substance. You're 40s. I get it. Let's dig in a little deeper.
Right.
Full names, actually, like full names. Gustavo, not just Gus. Gustavo.
Right. So Dakia shows first, and they do have a little bit of small talk, and pretty much he asked her like, what do you like about PO? So I mean, it's not really anything. When she showed up, for some reason, probably like 3 episodes ago, my brain and my heart just isn't going together now with this season, because I just feel like these forced connections are really like making me feel some type of way, because I'm like, Dakia and PO, like, stop it, guys. Stop. So it's making me feel some type of way. So it's hard for me to take them serious when they go on dates now. Tyrone, what is that face for? I need
it's the whole like.
I need to hear it.
Dakia, man. Sometimes, like, I think from the beginning I said she was solid, right? And sometimes I just wonder, when she's making these connections, like what's the true intention of making the connections? Like, is she truly there to hear them out and give someone a try? Because it seems like everyone that she sat across from, she was willing to hear them out, right?
Mhm.
Especially if they were, on their way out. She'd be like, "Oh, I kind of like Tori," and I think she even said something about, "Oh, I think Wiley would have had a chance," or something like that.
Yep.
And now Paul. So now I'm just trying to figure out the true reason behind it all.
Mhm.
So, production, anyone? I mean, like, what else are they going to do, right? I mean, this is the show. They need to fill the space. I mean, so when you, Sabrina and Tyrone, when you did the show, was this your first time doing a TV show and being involved with production and things?
Yes.
So it's funny because I've been doing this for 30 years. So my mind automatically goes to behind the scenes, right? As opposed to, and so it's just when I'm watching these episodes and these two people trying to make a connection, which it's obvious that they never would, you're just like, oh, production is kind of really, they're pulling, they're grabbing at, they're gripping at nothing. Yeah. That's just what it feels like. And I'm just wondering, why can't, this is called Ready to Love, right? Like, why can't we actually just like push the narrative of like people that are really wanting to do it? Why do we have to create this conflict that isn't real? Because unfortunately, there's people like us that are watching and too smart to fall for this, right?
I said the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a little bit disappointing because, yes, the name of the show is Ready to Love. And so some of these contrived efforts kind of put a damper on the overall of what I'm personally looking for. But I get it, because Gus, we did our review on Friday. And of course, you have more days to marinate. And this is real life dating. I think this is real life. Like, you sit across from people that you don't, you're not finna, they're not meeting your friends. They're not meeting your family. You're not going to marry them. They're not even on the list, but you'll eat with them. And I feel like the key is eating with people and you're this and we can do, and keeping it light. And we're just seeing it on the show in this structure. But at the end of the day, this is what dating really looks like, I guess. You sit with people you're not really interested in. Sometimes things get messy. People fall out of interest. Like, it's all over the place. Like, so here we are.
Yeah.
I like Takia. I just think that there's
her.
nobody for her on the show. I think
that's clear.
I get this vibe that she's a really incredible woman and she's just charismatic enough to like partake in any situation she's put in because she's emotionally intelligent and kind. And she's, in production's eyes, a gold star, right? It's like, great, who cares? Just throw Takia in there. She'll make us look good. And that's what she's been doing. I think she's been carrying a lot of these episodes with just being who she is, right? And she's beautiful and she's talented. Like, she's amazing. I hope she finds an incredible man. She deserves it.
Yeah, so she did say something, and when she said it, I was like, I know I called that like 5 weeks ago. When she mentioned something about being the boss every day and she don't want to be the boss at home, I said, I know I called that.
It was like the second episode, I think. I think you said it the first or second episode. I remember. That's funny.
Which means she would need somebody who
understands that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which none of these guys seem to.
I was about to say, that's the hard part.
Hello.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Don't we all know? I mean, I'm sorry, but us three on the top row, we're like, we know. It's hard to find.
Right. Exactly.
But Carmen looking fly. I'm sorry, but Carmen her fashions this whole season have just been.
Yeah.
This whole look is giving me early 2000s when it was like Chloe glasses and the jean jacket and like colors. She can go right into the Bills music video, right?
Right? And you wouldn't know which member she is because, there was always mixing in and out of that time anyway. So she would have fit right in.
Right. Farrah's cousin.
Honey, I live for Carmen. Like, I mean, I know sometimes she can be a bit much, but we all can be a bit much sometimes. And I live for her bit muches.
Me too.
Yep. I'm here for it.
I'm a Carmen stan for sure.
Because one thing about me, and everybody knows that, especially that watches my reviews, I'm the type of person that's like, if you show me exactly who you are, how can I deny you? You know what I'm saying? Like, good, bad, indifferent, whatever, the ugly, it doesn't matter. If you show me exactly who you are, I'm gonna love you even more. Flaws and all, everything about you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we're not all perfect. So yeah. But anyway, because she can be a bitch sometimes, but I feel like at times, sometimes, and even with all the other women, like I just feel like maybe it's something more than what we see. Like, you know, it's a reason why she might act the way that she does. I don't know. I always try to think of like, maybe so, what if, how come, like I try to ask all these different questions. Like, it's not a reason why a person's just going to act a certain kind of way or be a certain kind of way unless it's a reason. That's just me.
Yeah.
Do you think production? Sorry, turn on.
No, I was saying from the beginning that, you know, I liked Carmen. I thought she was for the shits from the moment she came on screen. And I was like, I'm here for the shits. So let's get it. And then I listened to her live and I found out that she is former military and she works with men for a living. And she's the only woman there most of the time. So I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. I totally get it. Even if it was just the military background, I get it, because we kind of cutthroat, you know.
Straight to the point.
Yeah,
you gotta be.
100%. And Jamie comes from a military family, so she was raised, you know, so she understands that too. But can I ask you guys a question, since I'm with you, Sabrina and Tyronesies? Like, did production ever tell you to put, I mean, you probably can't say this because I don't want you to get you in trouble, but like, just from my experience, you know, she seems like Carmen is like the kind of woman that'd be down to just put on a little more than she needs to and get her hands dirty and her feet a little more wet up to the ankles instead of just, you know, just the toes. More willing, if that makes sense. Or
I mean, I could see her walking around thinking, you know, like, who's gonna test me, right?
Yes.
Who's gonna test me?
And be here for the test, right? And production being like, go, and she's like, okay, let's go play.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I can too. She's definitely especially if it works out in her favor.
And I like it when it doesn't sometimes, though, because I think that's going to be the crucial part to her growth, to finding a man, is realizing, like, with loosening the grip, something else can come in that's actually more fitting to what she's looking for, I think. Right?
Yeah. I love it. I'm here for it, honey. I'm here for it. So, of course, Carmen comes down the steps. She's looking fab, of course, and not to take anything away from Dakia. When she came in, she looked beautiful as well.
She did.
But of course, this is the face that Dakia had on her face as Carmen was walking and entering into the scene. And then, of course, Carmen gets there and she's like on her green screen, like, what is she doing here? So neither ladies were expecting each other, which lets me know they've probably never seen Ready to Love before. Because they really, really, truly were shocked. But I thought it was also interesting because Dakia was like, yeah, I just don't know. Like, she showed up with those blue contacts. Like, didn't she get the memo from Clifton? Like, you know, it just doesn't really work for her. So I just don't understand. So they definitely, and I've been saying it every episode, they absolutely do not care for each other. For whatever reasons. I try not to speculate, but I obviously, especially this episode, definitely let me know that they not feeling each other. But what are your thoughts on the introductions when they first realize that the other one is there to meet Paul?
I mean, there might still be some remnants of the whole Eric thing.
You talking about with Dakia?
I mean, with Dakia with Dakia and Carmen.
Yeah.
You know, could be some bitterness there.
I think so. I think that you hit the nail on the head with that.
Yeah, I agree. Because out the gate, if you guys remember, what was it, episode 3, when they went on that first trip, when Dakia was fully chopping it up with Eric in the kitchen and having a whole moment. And when Carmen came in, it wasn't the fact that she came in. She came in and was kind of like, boo boo, it ain't finna be. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
She came in.
Yeah, she came in. Yeah, so since then, I think Dakia was like, okay. And now we're at episode 8, and she's like, your blue contacts and whatever else you got going. You know what I mean? So it's turned up now. So it's always been this little thing between them.
I also kind of feel like who else is going to be with PO? I'd be surprised if anybody walked in because like you really like him, like just in this cast, like nobody's really vibing with him. So it's like anybody that shows up, I would be a little surprised and shocked to. But I do think that history of what you guys are speaking of definitely has the bad taste in Takia's mouth, right?
But I mean, Chill Bill was like, he understands the Carmen thing for POJ, so to speak. Maybe not Paul, but POJ and Carmen seem to be like two peas in a pod as far as what his boy Chill Bill had to say.
Which is interesting because she said, I want Paul, not POJ, you know? So that's the interesting part that you picked up on is, does she really want the Paul?
She said, no, he is going to be Paul.
Yes.
Moving forward.
Right, exactly.
Because that's a boss. What did your mother name you? Yeah.
Right. Right. Which is, and I hate to say this, guys, it's so crazy. And I think this is why, like, me and Carmen are so different, but in real life, we're so similar, guys. Like, it's crazy because how she, just her whole demeanor, because I would have said the same thing. Like, is that the name your mama gave you?
100%.
Like, we're not going to call him peanut butter and jelly. We're going to call him Paul.
Right.
Like, that's not, who is POJ? Like, who the P and who the O and who the J? Like, that's 3 different people. Like, what's going on? I'm confused. Like,
100%.
Another thing I was trying to figure out was when Chill Bill was talking about Paul's past, someone for past Paul and someone for future Paul.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out, was past Paul the wild one and the new one to settle down? And if that's the case, like, who was the wild one that he was referring to amongst Takia and Carmen?
Carmen, he said it.
Carmen.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he said if Paul wants to settle down, he needs to settle down with Takia. But POJ or PO, if he trying to settle down, he need to settle down with Carmen.
So he saw something in, the few minutes that he was sitting down, quick.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay.
She walked in with that energy, Carmen, though. I feel like that was definitely what he was used to seeing PO with, right? He was like, well, yeah, I've seen that before with you. And I felt like he was kind of pushed off his rocker a little bit when he saw Takia, because he was kind of like, who is this classy, delicious, put together woman? I've never seen you bring somebody like that around. It felt like that,
Man.
Yes.
So that's a probably easy thing to figure out when you're his friend, from so long ago.
You said classy and delicious. I
She
love
was.
it. Yeah.
But
I love it when somebody calls me classy and delicious.
We called you all the good things all the time on ours, because you are. And that's the great part. It's like, yeah, you are like Carmen in many ways. And so am I. And so, like, we loved those qualities about her, that she's just so willing to be open about herself being that way. Unapologetically. But we all still deliver them and live through them differently. But the fact that we can understand that commonality is, I think, one of my favorite things about the whole show, is that we see so many reflections of ourselves on this platform. And it doesn't have to be our twin. It doesn't have to be that. But it's like, I see you, I hear you. And I mean, let's just be honest. The world needs a lot of that, right? So.
Yeah. And you know what, Carmen, actually, I told Gus this in one of our other shows, did remind me of you, Sabrina, in certain ways, because just as a watcher, I was like, oh, okay, I like that. Like, I like how she did that. She's balanced in this way. She's different in this way. She's not playing around over here, but she'll flirt right here. Like, her balance kind of gave me the same energy that yours gave me, even though, like you said, you guys aren't twins, but I was still always like, oh, I like the way Sabrina said. I like how she moves. Oh, and flirty here, but like that balance of such a beautiful whole woman. But balance is, not everybody has that. Some people think they need to be too, like, I'm a boss. It's like, nah, girl, what about the flirtatious let me eat from your fork. Like, you know what
Go
I mean?
off.
So it's
Go
like,
off with the eyes.
yeah, let me eat from it's a little bit of both. So I feel like that's what I like and see as a similarity in you guys.
Yeah.
And Sabrina, your fashion was so fire the whole season too. So there's another similarity with both of you for sure.
Thank you. I tried to bring the heat, honey.
You did, girl. Our screen was on fire. It was like I was like, my eyes are burning because it's too much.
I love it. I wish I could have did more. Shoot. They were funny though. They were funny about the clothes that we could wear. Like we couldn't just wear what we wanted to wear. So they were real particular.
We talked about that last season,
Yeah.
stylists, of course. Because
Yeah.
you know what, to be fair though, I feel like you all last season always looked really good. Like, I don't know if they changed stylists or what happened there. Not that they're not looking as good, but I just remember every episode last season, me and Jamie would be like, they look so good. Like every time you guys came on the screen, you all looked so delicious.
Yeah.
True.
We
You're
had,
right.
I mean, at the end of the day, and I always give credit where credit is due, like we had an amazing group of gorgeous, beautiful, different shade of women on that cast. I mean, they were gorgeous, different body types, different complexions, different hairstyles. I mean, each one of us brought a different flavor of Kool-Aid, honey, and I lived for it. Like, I mean, it would be times when I'd be like, oh, but damn, she looked good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just like for the men, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm biased. I don't know. I'm just stuck, but I just feel like our group of men, we had a lot of fine men and the women were freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I just wish like we've all just gotten along.
That ain't gonna happen in real life. So, but
wishful thinking though.
Of course.
Yes, sexy cast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tyrone, were you about to say something? My apologies.
Nope.
Did y'all have...
Nope.
He was about to be like, yeah, we did look good.
No, you want to.
Nope. No, that's the similarity with you and Carmen. Basically, I was going to keep it quick and say, like, when Carmen steps on the scene, she's on the scene. The same for Sabrina. When Sabrina steps on the scene, she's there.
Yeah. Yeah, gone with the wind.
You guys are women who know each other yourselves. You're aware, you're authentic, and that's such a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing when you start to show up for you. That's
100%.
Ooh, I loved that so much about how you showed up. Like that's so serious. It's real.
Fact.
Especially when you've been, it's a process. This is a maturation process, and some of the funny things we see in people that we don't understand or are turned off by, we just don't understand. They haven't gotten to the space yet where they're fully comfortable being who they are.
Yeah.
So once you get there, that's special. That has an aroma to it.
It takes a lot of work. It's not gifted to you. It's not handed to you. I mean, the most famous rich people in the world, they still don't embody that type of quality because it's something you have to earn. You have to work toward. And not everything needs to be hard, but most of the time it is. You really have to dig into the trenches and come out the mud and clean yourself off even when you feel like you can't get clean after that. So.
But unfortunately, we live in a world now because of social media, let's put it out there, where everyone, not everyone, but majority feels like they have to be validated.
Yeah.
Women are walking around feeling like they have to have a husband before they get too old. They need to have kids before they get too old. They need to, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's just unfortunate that those are the times that we live in. But, and that's why I guess whenever I speak in any platform that I get on, I try to just remind everybody to just always choose you, to always love you. Because if you don't, like, how can you expect anyone else to dive in? It's like, and you can't pour from an empty cup, So once I started becoming full of me and knowing who I am and knowing my worth, and let me tell you, my life isn't perfect, but guess what? It feels freaking great to wake up every day and to be me. You know what I mean? And I'm not perfect. My life isn't perfect, but it feels good. I'm grateful for the person that I am because I actually like waking up beside her every day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm talking about me.
The her was a couple years ago, but you're talking about you right now. I get it. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, we're not going to start preaching, honey. So
we got it. We sprinkle a preach in there.
It has to a little bit. sprinkles, just little sprinkles of preaches.
Yes, yes. So, where was my thing up? Let me put it back up, because once we started talking, I wanted
Are we still talking about Carmen and Zakiya?
yes, because
And Kia?
we're getting ready to end it though. But Takia pretty much was like, it just seems like it's so much tension with Carmen. She doesn't understand why. She doesn't understand why she's trying to compete with her. And pretty much Takia was like, Carmen needs to choose the best man for her and not the easiest one to get. Takia leaves first, and Carmen pretty much says, you always save the best for last and get with a hero and not a zero. So would you guys like to comment on any of that?
I think that was like a sly remark at her trying to get with Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he's easier to get.
Yeah.
And it actually keeps her on the show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just that catty stuff. I wanted to share that I thought was funny. I shared this on our show too, but it was like, Pio was straight up like, oh yeah, Carmen, she's superficial with a little bit of substance. I was like, dang, he really like called her out like that. I kind of felt like that was a read just a little bit. He called her superficial with a little bit of substance.
I'm sure
I don't understand.
I'm sure he meant well. I'm sure he meant well.
Yeah, because the way he said it was just so like, yeah, she's got a little bit of substance. She's really superficial. And I'm like, dude.
Just proving the point what we just said. They're there for stay longer on the show. Like that's not something you say about something you're genuinely interested in, right? I mean, like
no.
And if you are, you've come to cultivate a better thought process of expressing your emotions, what I would hope, in terms of what that really actually means for you. If you expect a woman to stay around and hear you.
It means what Chill Bill said. I think he nailed it. Like, she's more of his past, and Zakiya is more reflective of who he wants to be or tries to be in the future or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's who Chill Bill wants Paul to be.
As a friend,
not there yet. Yeah,
we see that, right, as friends. But I don't know if Paul has the potential for that, to be honest with you.
Either one of them, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm being nice.
This is my tea. My tea.
37 minutes in.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And how much drink do you have? Oh shoot, you're not even halfway done yet, Ty.
He knows how to pace himself. He's like,
honey, by the time he gets to that bottom
Gus,
cup,
you know.
Yep.
time he gets to the bottom of it. Okay.
Yeah.
100%.
So this is Ash, everyone. Ash is Tori's friend. And Ash is coming to meet Ace and Sabrina. So Sabrina enters and she brings Tori a candle, which I thought was really sweet. And she goes, well, I figured I'd get you something since you're always getting me stuff. So does anyone have any thoughts about how she entered the room and brought Tori? Because Tori made a comment and was like, I'm kind of confused now because it's like she's bringing me gifts. And I think in his head, he knows she ain't feeling me for real. So why she bringing me something? Like, why she bring me a gift? Like, keep it 100. Like, what's going on? And that's just what I got from it. So I just don't know. I just kind of want to hear you guys' opinion on how you felt, how she entered in with a gift for Tori. Because he was like, who sent you? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Gus, what were you about to say?
Play on, play on.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a female player. I said this on our show. She is really good at playing. And that's what a man that's a player would do too. He would just try to keep you strung in and attached just a little bit. As soon as your mind starts to wander in a different direction, they pull you back in just to appease their own ego. And that's what it felt more like, as opposed to like a genuine gift to really fulfill that lack of effort she's put in in my opinion. It's yeah, I'm just gonna keep being nice as possible. Does anybody else not?
No,
touch on
I mean,
that?
I agree with you 100%. He even said something like that, like when they hug, just like, I feel like the more I back up, the more she leans in. And I agree with what you said to a T, Gus. And additionally, when I was watching, I was like, it wasn't that thoughtful of a gift. It was a thoughtful
No.
gesture, but
It
he
was
brought her
impersonal.
cupcakes exactly.
Yes.
He brought cupcakes specifically because she had said that. And I know as a woman, when I'm really interested in a guy, I'm gonna like I happen to be crafty, or I'm gonna really put some thought into something that I'm gonna bring him that's gonna warm his heart. And it was just like, oh, I can't. A part of me was like, oh, was that just an extra one she had and put in an extra gift bag that she had and just brought it to kind of like, I just didn't get anything from it.
She was
So I was
like,
like, okay, girl.
She's like, I got you an alarm clock. Here you go.
Yeah, like
Right. So you cannot be late to the dates that we will never have again after this. Like, what do you mean?
it's vintage. It's
What do you
vintage.
mean?
That's why there's no box.
I took that as like, you know, when you're out and someone buys you a drink, and you just feel compelled to buy them a drink too, so you break even.
Yes.
You know, and I just don't.
Well,
owe you
I don't
nothing
feel that
now.
way ever, but
Well,
I know
I'm
what
just-
you mean.
I'm giving you a hard time.
and then I also feel like it's like the Venus flytrap, and he just doesn't get it until he's already, you know, laying in the trap, dying from the from the acid. You know,
Just like disintegrating in front
like
of
it
our
looks
eyes, the poor
nice.
guy.
It looks pretty. You know, it looked like he's about to eat and have a great day, but in the end, it's just
meal.
the same thing over and over again. And even after that, I was like, did they even look at each other in this date? Did he even talk to her? You know, after that?
I keep saying it. He has been removed ever since the nibble on the ear and the kiss on the mouth.
Yeah.
He's been like, hold on. Like at this point, he literally is like riding it along because in real life, he's done. And in real life, he knows he likes Sabrina more than anybody on that show.
Yeah.
He damn near was in love with that girl.
And I think it's too easy for her.
100%.
It's not a challenge.
Absolutely.
So she's not even, there's no interest there, you know.
It's a nice role reversal, right? Like usually we're watching the man do this to the woman, and it's interesting. It's nice for us as an audience to see, even though it's not fun to watch. Poor freaking Tori. It breaks my heart watching it the whole time because she's a really good player and she's doing exactly what a man would sometimes do to a woman. And he's broken. He's been checked out of broke because he knows to protect himself, right? He's like, been there before, not repeating patterns. But she's like, come on, just play a little bit. He's like, maybe.
Yeah, it feels like she's doing it to keep that vote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And this isn't Big Brother.
Solid vote.
There's no voting at the end.
You
know? And men do that shit. That's my biggest pet peeve. When they just love to fulfill their egotistical needs of feeling validated by one more like. To me, that shows you haven't done the work of what we just spoke about 5 minutes ago of validating your own experience and existence. Woo. You're letting somebody else still try to fill that void. Baby, you were married a year and a half ago. You need a couple of years to yourself still to figure that out. So you're not doing that to other people.
Let me
Drink for me, thank you.
I can't even look into the screen. I'm like, oh, yeah, because all of that.
Yeah.
Tyrone had to take a sip on that one. He's like, let me. Okay, so, yeah. Poor Tata. I mean, Toto. I mean, okay, so pretty much, Ash is talking to Sabrina. I'm not even drinking. Maybe I need to go get a glass.
Wait, not Toto though. Like he gotta be Toto. God.
Oh, because I always say it to Sadora, my daughter. I'd be like, oh, or not even to Sadora, but in different situations with certain people, I'd be like, oh, poor Tink Tink. But because Tori is Tori, I wanted to be like, oh, poor Toto. But then I was looking at Tyrone's name and I said poor Tata. So I just called Ash ass. So I gotta get it together. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Ash pretty much is talking to Sabrina and he's asking her, like, what do you look for in a man? And then he does mention that Tori and Sabrina look good together. And then Ash asks Tori, where's the other woman? So Tori gets on his cell phone. So Sabrina was like, is this happening like right in front of me? And he's like, yep.
Felt good, didn't it?
Yes. So he absolutely calls Ace about 4.5 times and she does not answer. And Sabrina is absolutely in her feelings. Now, I have to stop it here because, I have a whole lot more written, but I have to stop it here.
Mhm.
How did y'all feel that he called Ace right then and there in the middle of their date to try to find out where she was because she wasn't there yet?
It's my clapping.
He did what he had to do. I'm not mad
wanted.
at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of like genuine concern. I can see that,
You're so nice, Tyrone.
He really is.
Warrant.
He really is.
Yeah, like I could see a little bit of genuine concern because the no call, no show is, you could probably think something happened. I noticed it didn't go to voicemail, and I was like, dang, she ain't got no voicemail. Or he couldn't have texted her.
I mean, it
Or
probably
something,
did go to voicemail. And he might have texted her too, but they only showed him like calling her.
Yeah.
If there was a different dynamic between him and Sabrina, then it would have been inappropriate. But because it's Sabrina,
Correct.
it's like, whatever. Girl, don't act like you care because you brought a candle. It's not a big deal. Where's Ace? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to be two people here.
Even the frowns on her forehead,
Yeah.
that's called bad acting because you're acting from your head and not your stomach. So I know she's putting on for cameras right here. So it's like, it's she didn't care. This is all, it was very forced. It was very produced to watch that situation happen. But hey, sorry to spoil the party for the people that thought it was real.
Just learn something.
And she's still looking for a way to kind of like, because even last episode, she was like, oh, well, Tori kissed Precious, so I don't know why people will talk about who I kissed. And, well, Tori did this. I still feel like she's looking for some, well, Tori did this, so don't put it on me. Like, she gives me too much of that. She wants to say, well, I can't believe he called, girl.
That type of behavior will get you divorced.
It's a way to justify the Venus flytrap.
Like the whole, where's the healing involved when you just keep tit-for-tatting each other?
Well, not kill him in the end. Y'all will understand.
Yeah.
You're
Poor
right.
guy.
Yep.
Devoured.
Sabrina?
Sometimes I'm just glad that you guys are here so I don't have to always talk. Sometimes
100%.
I'd be like, I can't say that. Okay.
Well, we got you.
So, yeah. So y'all can say it for me. So Tori says it is no answer with Ace, and he is not sure if like he wants to move forward with her, and if she's gonna make it, and he doesn't understand like what's going on, and says that their connection is obviously not as strong as he thought. Okay. So Ash asks Sabrina how long she's been single. She says about 1.5 years. And he pretty much tells Tori that he does like her. But Tori says, so Ash says he likes her to Tori, and Tori's like, ah! He says that he does feel like that she is very indecisive and she hasn't been single that long.
Facts. I mean,
And
It's good to know he can see.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's what's making her do more, is because she's like, damn, he can see me. I don't want him to see me. It's
I want to be
game.
right.
Yeah. So
100%.
I don't know. But Tori is obviously he's feeling some type of way about Ace because he's saying that it's, the lack of communication like completely threw him off. So at this point, like, this whole scene just made me realize or not realize, but it made me say to myself, I hope he self-eliminates because he ain't feeling Sabrina for real. Now you feeling some type of way about Ace. But we're about to get to what Ace is getting ready to do and what Tori should do. But anywho.
Right.
I mean, if Tori self-eliminates, because of his true circumstance, then there should be more self-elimination. So I just don't think there wouldn't be nobody left
Exactly.
if everybody was staying true to the game.
Yeah. And that's why
Tori
they
gotta stay.
Yeah.
give you some money for each episode. Not that that's just TV. They have to pay you. So it's like that also is incentive to not leave, because who doesn't want to make a couple extra bucks anyway?
But then
Let
it's
me see
like
what's the
still continue to try to make genuine connections. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, it's kind of like, do you like me? Okay, come on, let's go on a date. I mean, that's how Tori's kind of coming off at this point. He's like, do you like me? Oh gosh, she doesn't like me either. You know, I mean, that's just what I'm getting. Like, I'm feeling like it's just so forced. I just feel like if you would have left your eggs here and place your eggs over there and place some eggs over here, I just feel like you wouldn't have put yourself in the position for us viewers to look at you and say, you know what? Eliminate, self-eliminate. Like, that's what I'm getting. But if he's just like, like I had a great conversation with Takia the other day, and it's just like, whoever likes me, I want to like them. If they don't like me, I'm going to continue to act like they like me just so I can stay on the show. And now no one likes me, and now I'm just freaking frustrated, but I'm going to stay on the show just because I'm going to stay. Like, that's just what I'm getting from him. Like, it's just like, I just feel like his storyline is pretty much dead at this point.
Can't argue.
Yeah.
I think it's been dead for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it died after
yeah.
the Truth or Dare.
Yeah. I think
It died. Yeah.
not only did like Sabrina play her card, I think he played his card too by his reaction to it all.
Yes.
I think he came on here for the right reasons. I think he was really like, I think he has, obviously, as you just said, Sabrina, in short, and in me being nice for once, he has a lot to learn still when it comes to actually establishing a real genuine connection. You can't put all your eggs in one basket and without actually, taking a look around the whole garden to see what's really there, especially on this type of environment. But, I have this little soft spot for Tori because he seems like he's such a sensitive soul.
Yes, me too.
And so it's like, I get how he can have I just think from this experience, he's going to grow so much. I think he should be proud of himself for avoiding Red Flag Factory Sabrina and realizing he's worth someone treating him well. And he seems to me, yes, he may be a little young and youthful in the process and understanding it, but he seems genuinely interested in finding love and ready for it.
He does. In Sabrina, though, and she's not interested.
Well, that's the problem.
That's
I've been there. I get it. And it sucks being the sensitive person that I am. So I root for him. Like, I root for him. It's annoying to watch it sometimes because you're like, fuck, you're just digging yourself deeper in the hole. Because I see that, because I've been there and it hurts. Yeah. It's not a fun feeling to watch you do, because then it brings up my old feelings and I don't want to talk about those. But at least I feel like more than many that have been on the show that I've witnessed, he's genuinely there, looking forward and ready for it as much as he can be. And this hopefully will project him into the atmosphere and the space to really receive it in the right way. He seems like he's a really sweet guy. And what girl doesn't want to have their kidneys rearranged? I mean, come on. So he should be fine.
He should be just fine.
Yeah. Well, he did set himself up because he was like, Sabrina want to bring me this candle. He was throwing Sabrina so much shade. And in real life, he thought that he had his backup was about to come in the door, and she didn't even come. He probably was sitting there like, 100%. Did I just shoot myself in the foot? But anyhow.
But it is good. Gus, I like what you said. Because it makes sense. I feel like, and speaking for myself included, and maybe you guys can relate, all of you, it's like when we make that declaration that we're ready. We're ready to love. I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do it different. I'm going to show up. Sometimes, I don't even want to say unfortunately. It's just sometimes the gifts that God or the universe brings is the gift of realizing where you're messing up at. And so how you talk about the eggs in the one basket, and he's a really sweet soul and this and that. But being that we are tenderhearted and sweet souled, you have to look around the whole garden. You have to really give yourself a chance to see what kind of person you're dealing with, because you are sensitive and you are ready and you do have something to give. And yeah, he shot himself in the foot by putting all his eggs in the basket with Sabrina. But then when I look at Sabrina and her energy and who she is, it also makes me wonder, what parts of him that were attracted to her that probably need just a little bit more tweaking, which I see that he's doing because Ace didn't pick up the phone. And he's like, cut. He probably needs some of that cut energy in his life. And he's getting that because he made the declaration of love, because he was operating from that space of falling for Sabrina. And now he's starting to move a little bit differently. So I think love is around the corner for him, is what I'm saying in that show.
Sharpening that tool of discernment will always help. And that sounds like what you're saying in short. He's sharpening that tool so he can really unlock that door. Hopefully
What
that
he
fits.
Yeah.
I just feel so bad because I really like Tori, and I just feel so bad for Tori. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just
likewise.
feel like, and I don't even want to get into it, but
Well, you know what that feels like too. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing. Like we just said about rekindling the experience that doesn't feel good. Not that you're avoidant of it, but you feel it again, and you don't want somebody else to have to go through that. But that's what life is.
absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Well, just to let everyone know, we have another special guest joining us.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Who's it going to be? Well, what up, Jay?
What up,
Hey.
Brad.
What's good with y'all? That was crazy talk on my end. What's up? What's up, man? Y'all are killing it, man. I'm loving it.
Oh, good.
Take the ticker off.
Good stuff.
Y'all
Yeah.
came
Good
on
to
my
see you,
favorite.
Jay.
You know, look, good to see you too, bro. I love to talk about Tori, man, because that's my dude, bro. Y'all came in at the perfect time, man. I got a big heart for Tori, you know?
Yeah.
It's painful to see his face, though. The look on his face when he realized that Ace wasn't coming was like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It should be a meme.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just, I felt like that was going to be his redemption period where he could finally feel, you know, that he was wanted by someone, and hopefully that would change the dynamic between him and Sabrina.
Yeah.
And he showed that when he kissed the other girl that he needs that validation, which I understand. And for him not to get that, I was like, man, I wanted him to have that moment to be in power, you know?
But isn't that beautiful that he can learn from that he doesn't need that moment to actually obtain true power.
Yeah.
This is his lesson.
I agree with you about the lesson. Whether he learns it at this point or not, we'll see. Right.
That's the thing.
Because he's been brooding for the last, I don't know, what is it? The last 5 episodes?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a quick lesson that gets learned, you know?
Yeah. This is like a couple of weeks. Last 5 episodes is like 2-3 weeks. Like that's not real time to like heal and digest.
Yeah, no, that I would still be
evolve.
hurt at that. Yeah, it would take me some time to realize.
Yeah.
To wake up to that understanding for sure.
Yeah, especially for him, because he seems to wear his heart on his sleeve. And not that that's a bad thing. I just think that in this process, it is. In a normal process for him, a 101, maybe not. But yeah.
Oh no, I think it's I do that a lot too, and it's let me down more often than not. And not that it's a bad or a good thing, but I do think it takes a certain amount of strength and courage to do it. Patting myself on the back. But yeah,
well done, man. I haven't been in your situation, but well done. Well done.
Thank you. But he should continue to do that in the sense, but just with a sharper discernment to, you know, hold it here, let someone see it, but they need to be worthy of that.
Yeah.
They need to prove that they can handle this and they deserve it. And right now he's at that space where he doesn't realize his worth.
I think he just saw a lot of what he wants in Sabrina. And I think we've seen her, at least the way she's been edited, evolve in the process. In the beginning, she came off super nice and super sweet. And I don't know if it was just the namesake of Sabrina that I was like, man, I could feel her. Like if I was on this season, that would be who I'd go for. And then of course, you know, that's changed a little bit. I feel like, you know, but at the end of the day, I think it's just interesting to see that evolve and see her character evolve in this process too.
Real life.
Yeah.
Real life.
Yeah. And to see the way the men are looking at her as well, because that's changed. And sometimes that can happen when you have too many choices.
Yeah.
Or when you just start to show your true colors and your real ass a little later down the line, as opposed to someone like Sabrina right here, the OG, who's just comes in and is like, here I am.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't seem safe.
Yes.
2.0.
Yeah.
It's not
As
safe.
a man, that's evolved for me. It's like, ooh, you got to be careful. And also, she was in a 7-year marriage, and then here she is in this process, and that's a lot.
Oh,
A
man.
year and a half later.
Yeah.
Man.
And I think she's realizing that it's a lot too.
And anybody that has to say, I'm the 2.0 version of myself,
Yeah, y'all just made me think of this crazy analogy with the antelope trying to cross the river, looking down at the log, and the antelopes that have seen it before was like, "Yo, that's not a log, that's an alligator waiting to eat you." And
Damn, he called her alligator.
no, and Tori's like, "No, that's a log. I know it's a log."
Yes.
And the fellas is like, "Nah, that's not a log, bro."
Dude, the other
Y'all
guy.
ever seen that? Have y'all seen that before? Have you seen
No,
that before?
No, but
I was
Y'all have
waiting
no
for
idea
the
what I'm
rest.
talking about
accurate.
right now.
I was
I'm
waiting for
no,
the
I'm
rest of the
digesting
story
it. Yeah.
All right,
I'm like,
I'll be
okay.
quiet.
because I'm
then.
lost now. We want to hear the rest of
I
the story.
understood it. I just never heard
No,
it
that's
before.
the whole story. That's the
Oh,
whole story. Like when the like that the antelope that are trying to cross the river for the first time, they look down and they see what they think is a log because they've never seen it before.
uh-huh.
But the other antelopes are like, that is not a log, that's an alligator. You know, when they hover at the top of the water
Yep.
to try to eat you. And Tori is like, no, it's a log. I'm sure it is.
Mm.
And Gustavo was
So
saying,
kind of like what
That was the
everybody tried to
perfect
tell
Thanks,
Naeem
It
Gustavo.
really
last
was.
season.
It really was a perfect analogy. That's true.
It's really good.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well done. I didn't know where you were going with it when you started saying antelopes and alligators, but
Oh my gosh.
I think that's like what there was a thing on Frogger. Wasn't Frogger like that? I might be older than y'all. The video game, right? And you had to jump across.
Oh, yeah.
Frogger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Y'all.
Jay always did.
I was thinking Wyclef as soon as I saw my man. I was like,
Someone please.
He mentioned something about Sabrina's physical appearance, right? As to why
Yeah.
Tori would like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's usually that one though, if I may really quick, it's usually that like it's their situation where it's like basically he was like, this is everything I've been wanting. This is it all right here. And then the universe is like, that's actually what you've been wanting, and that's why you're still single. Like it's time to switch it up.
Mm.
And that happened to me.
Okay,
Like-
with the word.
Mhm.
But it feels like that. But I hope he's able to read that in that sense of that perspective moving forward, because then he's on his way to getting what he really wants, or he's gonna just keep wanting the things that aren't right.
This show actually did that for me, though.
Oh,
Being in
it's
this
amazing.
process allowed me to explore and get rid of my type. Like almost all of my ex-girlfriends, I think could be cousins, right? But because in this process, you're thrown in with a bunch of people that you didn't select, then it makes you see them and realize who they are. So I think for Tori, hopefully the silver lining to this process is when he can come back and see himself and say, okay, I need to toughen up here. I need to toughen up there. Or maybe he says, hey, I just changed who I like because that's not healthy for me.
Yeah.
We talk about that on our show all the time, Jamie and I. That's what we hope for every single one of you every time we're watching you guys go through this experience.
Yeah.
We hope people hope the same thing for us as humans when they watch us in our experience. So we're always cheering for that to be the outcome. But so it's really awesome to hear that was the outcome for you, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay, that's one of your cousins?
Who? Colin? No, I said not looks like my cousin. They all look like they can be cousins.
They can be like
I
his
don't know
type.
look like me. She bald headed and all above. That was actually Joy calling. We got some stuff we got to do. So don't start.
That is so funny. I can't. Okay, so moving on. The next thing.
I'll turn my finger off since time my business. Hold on.
But I think that he was just talking. He just misunderstood what you were saying about how all of your exes prior to being on the show, it kind of forced you to date outside of what you normally date. That's what Jay was saying. He was saying that the women he previously dated, if you put them all together, they look like cousins.
Yeah.
So, and I feel you because I was the same way because I had a type too, and being on the show, I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually try something different.
Yeah.
And the people a few of the people that I was attracted to that I kind of wanted to pursue, I was like, in real life, my regular life, I would have never. And if he would have come up to me in a bar, like, hey, can I get your number? I would have said, unfortunately, no, I'm not going to give you my number.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's just how it was. But because of the show, it actually gave them a chance to really try to date me. But in real life, I would have been like, yeah, I'm good, shorty. Okay. So next we have, does anyone have anything else to say about Tori, Ash, his best friend, and Sabrina's date before we move on?
Next.
So next we have Demetrius and Demetrius's friend, Ken. and they're actually meeting Sabrina. So Sabrina, okay, so Demetrius says that Sabrina is his top. And when she enters, she does not have a gift.
Oh, Sabrina.
Shade.
That's what we're
2.0.
doing. That's what we're doing.
That's
I
what we're
like
doing.
it.
I'm
It's
just
probably our
saying
fault.
she
Sorry.
had a gift for Tori, and I just figured she would have a gift for Demetrius.
Especially if that's
Because
his
she
number
said
one.
Demetrius was her top when she walked in there. She said that.
So why
you're not
y'all
gonna get your
say-
top again?
So why it got to be shade that I'm throwing, if that makes sense?
He
'Cause
did
it
get a
was, and
better
I
hug
loved it.
though.
It was slight shade.
I feel like you're slightly disappointed in your namesake right now. I feel like there's a slight disappointment. Like in the beginning, you was like Sabrina 2.0, we in here. So now you're like, she got another scene. Like
You know what it is. You know what it is. And I'm gonna say it in the words of Kojo.
okay.
She is moving mad.
She's got the mineral. She's got the mineral.
Baby. Baby.
Exactly. Kojo's probably watching this right now, laughing at us.
Shout out to Kojo, man.
Yes. But yes, so she comes in and she does not, let me go ahead and share this next screen. She does not have a candle for her number one, which is Demetrius.
That is some fucked up shit right there, though. That's like seriously. Like, this is your number one, and you're not bringing them a gift, and you bring the one you don't even want a gift. Like,
I
what?
bet you y'all didn't even think about it until I brought it up.
I did.
No, because I've tapped out with Sabrina because she triggers me. You know, like she's triggering to me because
it's do you see yourself as the Tory in some of this a little bit with Sabrina? And not always, but like I feel like my younger self, when my first got hurt, I was the Tory good guy, didn't 100%. See it coming and got blindsided. I was licking the edge of the Venus fly trap, like, this looks tasty, like to use Ty's analogy. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what's this room I'm in? You know what I mean? Like,
yes, it hurts.
I don't feel my legs anymore. Like,
yeah, 100%. I think, right? I mean, I think even Jamie, I feel like she said she understands that, relates to that too. It's you said it, the narrative on her is flip from her being the sweet one to the villain, and it's. I don't blame production on that. It just seems like we're, seeing her true colors. I'm sure she's a great girl.
I want to say this though. She was looking fly with those pants. Though. I'm sorry.
I love those pants.
I was in my office and I was like, it's okay.
She's gorgeous. That's the problem. She's gorgeous. Like she's relied on that for a long time. You can tell.
Well, it works, and so that's where somebody like me would also get kind of annoyed because you guys can see the Venus flytrap and you're still like, oh, what's that? Let me get in. And it's like all of these guys are like Sabrina, and we can all sit here and see clearly, but it's like this is the world she gets to live in because this is what y'all want. Like, and when you have a woman function sometimes from a different space, sometimes I just feel like, is that not enough of a roller coaster ride for you? Do you want to ride the ride?
But
and
we
go through the twists and the turns?
We stand in line for the most dangerous roller coaster because it's fun. It's the tick, 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 tick. Yeah. Like,
honey, well, off subject, I feel like after they leave this bar, they all about to go to Soul Train. Isn't that what it's called when the people be dancing in the middle of the aisle and people be
Soul Train line? Yeah,
Soul Train line. Yeah,
Don Cornelius.
Don Cornelius. Don't they look like they about to go?
It doesn't help that the lighting looks like it's from the set too in the 70s. Like that's the whole. It's definitely that.
Yeah,
flashback in time. That's
Sabrina
so funny.
Just need an afro and that's it.
That's it.
I think this is also.
All of them need an afro.
I want to say one thing about this scene, though, is in the last two scenes, in Sabrina's scene, she was completely covered up, but she still had an amazing amount of appeal. And versus some of the other women where there's a ton of cleavage, but the men weren't choosing. And I feel like a lot of times as a woman, you guys know this, Sabrina, you especially know this, is that you can carry your sexiness without having to put it all out there and still be equally as attractive.
Absolutely.
So I know we've been shooting some shots our way, probably all, well-deserved or whatever case is, but I admire a woman that can carry a certain amount of attractiveness while still keeping everything covered up.
Maybe she didn't want to for them.
Yeah.
Do we see the next scene though? It's totally different, right?
I don't remember now. I feel like it's probably about to slap me in the face.
Well, what you're saying actually is interesting though, because if this is truly her number one, that is probably strategically what she's doing. She's like, let me not let him objectify me. Let's see if he can still take me serious and find me sexy, clothed. Let's see if this has a lasting impact on him without the girls being out to tempt him to saying, this is why I'm interested in you. I mean, I think someone like her, being as pretty as she is and put together, she knows how to play in the waters accordingly.
Yeah.
So great observation.
But didn't that backfire on them though? Because he mentioned something about wanting her to be submissive.
Yeah.
So the math ain't mathin' with the.
She said she had a hard stop on the submissiveness, and you can see she had a visceral response to that word.
How did she not know this though?
Good.
Everybody else can feel this from him, right? Like it's hard for me to like watch him and enjoy his energy. It's too much for me. He's that person that talks about I'm so grown, but he makes excuses probably to still stay in his single-minded self. It feels like when I watch him all the time. And how does she not see that? Like he would expect someone to basically like be submissive.
Yeah, I thought he was going to clean it up too, but he seemed like he doubled down on it.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything, did he? I don't think he even spoke.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yes. So she does ask Ken what type of girl would be good for Demetrius, and Ken does say someone who is submissive. She goes, hold on, hard stop. What are we talking about right now? She says that she is not submissive, and sometimes it's hard for her to follow. Demetrius does say that this is a red flag, but not enough for him to stop talking to her.
Yeah, he said, yeah.
I can't
say that.
Yeah.
Something to
I didn't
navigate,
understand that.
and I just don't think,
I can't. That's denial again. Just like that, she does that with these men. Obviously, she has that Venus flytrap. She's able to make these men move past their own needs and give what she wants still. I mean, she's a play on, play it. And did you see Tyrone, that last thing when she was like X? She was here. Yeah. She wasn't like X. Yeah. The acting thing, you could tell that was genuine, opposed to the last scene where she was trying to put on like she was actually affected.
Can we not say that she has a Venus flytrap? It just makes
every time y'all say it, I think about her vajayjay.
Yeah, it just makes me think of a man in there and he can't get out, and he's like, "She got me," and he's dying slowly.
We her Venus flytrap. We can't Venus flytrap. It's just gonna trap you. It's gonna.
You're right, Jay. We've been there. We've all been there one time.
I do not want her to get the nickname of Venus flytrap and that have such a negative connotation for her in the future. Like,
okay, I'll take it back.
Yeah, no. I think it's just we just have to use it as when she does that Venus flytrap approach or whatever. Like,
what about Medusa? Does Medusa work?
No,
they're all going to be twisted and turned to be some negative connotation on her. Okay. So
worse. Oh,
it's already too late. Because
the plane has left. Yeah, it's left.
You can't.
Just left the terminal.
My gay ass never once thought of her vagina.
I actually didn't think of her vagina either.
I was just really thinking the whole time, just like, that's a great analogy. Yeah.
As a straight man,
I'm not thinking about Sabrina's pussy. I'm not.
I picture dying on the vine. We'll just use it as that way. Yeah. Like plugged in, like the worst way to die.
I mean, I dated dudes like her, so I get it. I've dated dudes like just like her.
What is that in a man then? Like, so that what would we call the man version then? It's not a Venus flytrap.
I F-boy. Don't shoot to this whole conversation at this point.
I'm just trying to get us a way out so we at least touched on both subjects and we're even. So we're not like disregarding a whole other section of humanity. You know what I mean?
F
Like,
boy.
yeah, an F boy, sure.
I'm so glad I'm not drinking wine tonight.
Yep. I'm gonna sip my juice.
God.
I guess I'll be the only one.
Oh, now my
Where's your wine,
eyelashes
Jamie?
will start lifting.
Huh?
Where's your wine? You got the whole case.
I know, and I didn't open it. I thought about it, but I had my tea instead.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us. We have 206 in the chat. I love you so much, guys. Thank you for supporting us.
How you killing me with the analogies today, bro? The Venus flytrap
I had some more, but I'm going to keep them.
and the antelope belong to you.
I love it. I love it.
Were you watching National Geographic and Discovery Channel today?
Yeah, I think so.
You just on that wavelength of
Nature.
nature.
I think I'm gonna. Gustavo, you had mentioned something about the facial expressions. I noticed something about Joy too. I think Joy has a tell.
Yes.
With her
Oh,
facial
yeah.
expressions.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You gonna tell us what it is?
Oh no, I was good waiting for
Okay,
Sabrina,
okay.
But the tell is Joy makes this face where she knows something is true that the other person doesn't know.
For the next meeting?
That the other person what?
So when Joy knows that something is true that the other person doesn't know, she makes this
Eyebrows.
She makes this oh really face.
She does. Yeah.
So
You can tell when something makes her uncomfortable too.
Yeah, she doesn't hide it. She doesn't hide it well,
Mhm.
which is fine. She doesn't have to.
yeah.
I actually like it though because she composes herself very well, and her and Clifton obviously have this bond where it's like this Bonnie and Clyde thing, which is great. And so when you have that type of, I feel like Joy and I had that. And so when you have that type of bond on the show, then the viewer doesn't get the authentic reaction, right? Because y'all ride for each other. And so that's a way for us to really kind of see what's going on behind the curtains a little bit. So I appreciate the tell.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. You can tell, like you just said, it's real when that's happening, right? When you can just pick up on nuances that quickly and be able to read each other and communicate without saying words. That's why I think I thoroughly love watching her and Clifton on this season.
Yeah. I like his no Fs. He's authentically who he is.
Yep.
And I feel like she is too. I feel like they edited her a little bit to where, we don't get as much of that, but I feel like that's truly who she is. And I think they make a great couple. They're still my favorite couple.
Yeah, like
Yes.
hands down, lights
Ditto.
out. If they don't work, I would be thoroughly surprised.
Yeah.
So
Sabrina,
I'm just hosting. I'm hosting. I got my notes.
but you got the ad libs though, girl. I'm like,
I am the queen of ad-libs in real life. Yeah.
I hear you.
Honey, before Gucci Man was going burr, I was going burr. I promised you on everything. And then when he started saying burr, they was like, he stole your ad lib. I was like, what? I could have been making millions.
Right.
Anyway, so Kenny comes in. Kenny is Clifton's friend, and he's coming to meet Joy and Dakia. So Clifton tells Kenny about him and Joy, saying that they did have a connection from day one, and he goes on about that, and she's like, yeah, how can you not love him, etc., etc. No, was that before? Okay, anyway, then Dakia walks in with her vagina drink. Go.
I'm gonna need you to give me a heads up before you say vagina drink for the first time. That's all I'm saying.
Just when you thought you could say the vagina.
The Venus, yeah, we've been on the Venus flytrap. You can just put this as your vagina episode.
It's actually two of them too, right?
The vagina monologues.
Right.
Yes. Oh my god. I mean, now they look like cousins. They look
Kenny
like
and
they are
Clifton.
besties. You could tell that they ride together. Their energy together is just palpable. It's, sometimes I watch this and I'm like, that was a stretch for you to bring that person on. Like, how well do they actually know you? How well do you know them? With them, you could tell like they're connected to the core. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good friendships.
I appreciated the fact of the two ladies, them being respectful of each other.
Ladies.
And even though these are uncomfortable, and I've been in this situation, right? These are uncomfortable dates. The tension is palpable. But they start graceful, and we didn't see that on some of the other dates. With what was her name? With Carmen. I mean, it was, and then this was like, hey girl, oh, you look nice, blah, 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 and sat down. And even though they had their competition, and the Kia went over and fed them, just kind of, and Joy was just like, whatever,
Yeah, 100%.
I got him. You can feed him whatever you want. Yeah. Dessert's coming with me. So.
Well, Takia knows too that it's Joy's. I think she makes it very obvious that she's just here for the experience, and you can tell the difference between her and Carmen. And they were fighting over a man. Yeah. She ain't really trying to fight over Clifton. It feels like a whole different situation.
I just
and
feel
yes, like... ladies. Okay. Sorry, no, that's it. Just it's nice to watch that. Oh, sorry, pit stains.
Yeah,
put back down.
Absolutely. Ladies, I love that they got up and then they hugged each other and stuff like that. So I was like, look at that. Regardless of how they feel about each other, if it was anything, like it wasn't catty or whatever. So I really, this so far this season, I will say it until I probably will say it, even if it gets messy 2 episodes from now, I feel like I should have been on this season, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, who would you be trying to talk to?
Mm-hmm.
I need at least 3. You got to have at least 3.
Choose wisely. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sabrina.
Y'all said my camera. Something wrong with my camera?
Oh, stunts.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, you trying to pull a stunt?
Yes,
like Will
we
Smith
can
last
still
night.
hear you.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Top
throwing the
3.
stunts out.
Can you?
We can see that you muted it. We can see that you muted it. Yeah. You need some foil, Sabrina? You need some foil?
Let me think. Okay, just from someone said yes, we can, Sabrina. Honestly, I really feel like if I was on this season, I would absolutely try to maybe speak with Donovan. I would try to get to know Cliff, and I would probably try to get to know Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, so you said 3, so those are the 3.
Okay. And if it was on the last resort?
J. Brad. That's all.
You can stop there. I just did number 1. That was it.
I'm gonna have to watch it and see. No, I'm just
Oh God, yes. So Dakia was like, now I'm gonna have to feed you since you fed me. And of course they shot back to the scene where Clifton was feeding Dakia the oyster. And he didn't like the olive. He did spit the olive out. And Joy was sitting over there, in her chair, like, it's all good. He hungry. He hungry. He a big guy. He hungry. He gonna eat. Go ahead and feed him, because guess what? He coming home to mama. And it's like he gonna go out the house. He gonna go to load the gun, but when he come home, he gonna shoot it. So it's fine. That's the kind of energy I was getting from Joy. Like, she's very secure within their connection. So, and that's one thing that I did like about that. She was like, I don't care.
Did you see his eye contact with Sabrina after he ate the olive, though?
With Joy?
With Joy?
I think that's why he spit it out. I think that was why he spit it out. Like, I'm not about to, do this in front of you. I ain't eating this.
He looks like he's trying to do a sexy for Joy. Like he looks like he's in this he's doing this to turn Joy on. It doesn't feel like he's doing this connected to the Kia at all.
I don't think,
He does look defensive a little bit right there too.
He's kind of like,
he's really closed up.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go ahead and eat this olive just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could explain this one later. I felt
like Joy made the face quite a few times on that date. Like, she knew what's going on. Like, ain't nothing there. Like,
Yeah, exactly. But that's how
She
she
don't like
always
it,
comes off
though.
anyway. She doesn't. She sure
She
doesn't.
don't like it. She don't like it.
No,
I
she's
wouldn't
ready to
either.
move forward. I wouldn't. I'd
Yeah,
be
she's
over it.
done. Cut the camera. Let's just go do us.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
She's been like 4 episodes. She was ready to get to the last episode, you know?
Yeah, by
Since the
episode 2,
since she
I
sat
was
with him on
like,
that couch in the first episode, she was like, "Okay, I'm done. Let's go. Can we?"
Right.
And
yeah.
like, why
and
can't
then
they just
brunch.
nourish those relationships accordingly? Like, I get it. It's
Yeah.
the purpose of the TV show, but like, in this special instance, when these people obviously are very connected, I'd actually be much more entertained to watch that in itself, because if it falls apart, that's going to be juicy.
But like
But-
courtship though too, because if you're ready to love, you're seeing
Correct.
courtship. And what does that look like between two people who choose each other? Like, let's evolve the show a little bit.
I think it's time, or else it start because this season's been getting a little stale with like the mass like producing of it in some sense, opposed to the authenticity of which most of us watch it for and why we enjoy it.
Agreed.
So here
Look
we have
at these two.
right. Well, here we have. Let me check.
Pod.
Sabrina, this screenshot,
Yes.
this
Is-
screenshot.
Says a lot.
I'm just a host. I just have one job. I had one job.
Gustavo, do these look like two straight men on this screenshot?
Look, I can only ditch out what
How do
the
you
production
take it-
give me. I didn't put no words to nobody's mouth.
How do
Okay,
you take the two most masculine looking men on here?
I did not Photoshop nobody. Okay,
Gustavo,
This came
can
from
you
the
answer
show.
that question for me? Do these look like two, like these? Answer for me, please. I'm sorry.
I think Clifton's friend may not be the most masculine man if he's turning away from the vaginas. But we don't know what he's into. We don't talk about him. He very well could, be, family to me. But Clifton looks like he's thoroughly enjoying it and like, yeah, joy.
Okay, so
This happened last night. Remember this?
Remember this?
And that's when her eyebrow raised like, yeah, sure did. Can we just get on with this now, please?
I myself, as a straight man, wouldn't want to watch my boy either drink something that he previously called a vagina. I would not. I would not be looking him in the eye like, is it good? Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
You
it.
should. Why not? Get some point. You never know. You can learn something. You can be like, oh, okay.
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
not
not.
that you get to
I'm
learn.
not
I'm saying
doing
in
it.
general. I would watch Intrigue, be like, oh, I've never thought about that. Maybe I could.
No, I'm not. My boys are not teaching me nothing visually.
You guys are definitely a lot more, a lot less inhibited than we are. Like, we're more inhibited than we are. That's for sure. Because I would definitely be watching. I'd be like, and if he wasn't doing it right, I'd give him some tips. I would give tips. I'd be like, no, not like that. Look, listen. Let's have a lesson, everybody. Let's have a lesson.
Right.
If that's me and any of my boys, the word pause would have been said about 15 times. Like, as soon as he said vagina drink, I'm gonna take a drink. I'm like, pause.
Right.
oh my god. So in this scene, Joy has to leave. So she's obviously left. And she goes on the green screen and she says maybe Dakia will now see how strong the connection that she has with Cliff. Cliff pretty much looks at Dakia and he says he wants to know if he can taste her vajayjay, and she says, "Let me know whenever you want to. You can taste it."
Can I say something real quick?
You absolutely.
Like, I'm not trying to like get any heat for what happened with her and Eric, but like it's just a little weird to me that he can be that blunt and they seem to be okay with it.
I think there's something.
I don't think she is okay with it.
I mean, it's all like it's a little weird for me to. It's hard for me to follow, is what I should say. Like with the whole situation.
The math ain't math.
I don't think she is okay.
Something is like not. Yeah,
because she's never on screen when it happens.
But she started the vagina conversation.
But she's been very open sexually since the beginning.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like in the beginning, her first episode, she's very open sexually. So that's why when it happened with Eric, I was a little confused. Like, I would, if I was Eric, thought that she was down for that type of behavior as well. And so obviously if something might be going on more, I'm not trying to speculate. That's not my job. I'm just saying it's interesting though to sit and see this and her enjoying herself, because that's kind of a part of what I really enjoy about her, is that she is open about it. She's a mature woman who's open about it. It's not like she's not standoffish about it. And so it's interesting how it's all playing out a little bit.
But we talked about, like, I think it was on here, we talked about it where it was like, if it's the guy that you like, then it's and if it's the guy that you don't, you call an HR. You know,
she really liked him. I thought. Like I thought that was her only connection.
I thought so too.
No, because you have to remember it was in front of Donovan was taking the picture,
and that's the thing.
But what did Donovan and Dakia? Did they really have sparks that flew like that?
I
don't
never
even
saw
remember
that.
a date with them.
Really feeling Donovan. I think she was really feeling Eric, but when Donovan came in, she started to really feel Donovan. And then what happened was she didn't want Donovan to think that it was more between her and Eric than it was, and that's why she had to shut him down. Because even after, and I'm not taking sides. I'm not trying to say one person. I'm not trying to discredit anybody. I'm just going off the facts. This is the show. I'm just looking at the facts. This is something I'm just talking about. And then it's just from the stuff even afterwards. It's kind of like she didn't mention that it was an issue until like days later. Like if it was a problem, like why not address it like right then and there? Because even after she was uncomfortable, they still took the picture. They still laughed and kikied afterwards. So it was just kind of like, if you were so bothered, like why didn't you be like, no, what you doing? What you doing? No, don't touch me like that. Like step back, bro. Like what you doing? You know,
doesn't that up?
From what I heard though, she did do that while he took the picture. And then she wasn't the person that reported it to production. Somebody else that was there reported, and that was men reported it to production.
But she still even texted him later on and was like, hey, babe, you know what I mean? Like they had like it. I just feel like if someone did something inappropriately, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not discrediting anything. I was not there. It's always three sides to a story. I'm just talking about it. But I just feel like if it was that bad, like if someone did that to me, I would be like, I don't got nothing to say to him. I don't got to text him. I don't want to hang out with him later because they were supposed to do some kind of boat ride thing. She was like, hey, are you going to the boat ride? Like she was trying to still hang out with him later. Like I just feel like if you did something inappropriately to me that really made me feel that uncomfortable, to where I pretty much was like, yeah, he need to kind of be off this show. And he like, I ain't ready to love her. I ain't ready to love nobody. I ain't ready to, like, you put him in a position. So I'm just like, dang, but why did you still entertain him? Like, I would be like, I don't want to be around him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to, at that very moment, I 100%. Wouldn't still had like this whole flirtatious kind of friendship kind of thing for days and days, or a day here and the next day there. And then like all of a sudden, this is what he did to me. I mean, I just don't know. And like I said, I just need all the facts for me. This is just little bits and pieces, what I heard, and just from what I know and what I've seen, it just, I don't know, just something just isn't right. I just need all the facts, because if, he did do that, then I'm glad that he took ownership of it. Well, you know what? He didn't even take ownership of it. He just said that he hurt her feelings. Pretty much.
I have a question. I'm really confused. You're saying because she liked Donovan more, and so she was acting like this?
Because it was a problem, because for real, like, and then too, there was a statement or something, or a voice log or something that was played that I'd seen, where he said he did have his hand around her waist and he was going up, up and up. He had been drinking, like, he apologized, and he said, but when she was like, whoa, like you moving up too much, like you getting too close, he was like this. He said he didn't touch her. He said he stopped. He said he was going up and up. He said, but when he was almost to that point, she was like, no, don't do that. I'm a lady. And he was like, he said he put his hands up and he was like, he don't want no problems.
Yeah, I mean, in a public space, for him to be treating a woman like that, I think in general, like, we're adults, we don't really do that. That was in our 20s probably, right? When we did stupid shit like that out in public. But I just thought, in the sense of Donovan, because when she said that, she said, he was my strongest connection. I don't think I should even be here anymore. So I was actually confused to see her still in the process. But besides the fact that she's just great TV and she's the one, she is who she is. But that's why I was interested about that. But anyway, point is, she was okay with Clifton drinking out her vagina. So that's where this,
like,
we're human. We're allowed to feel different ways.
Can I drink out your vajayjay? She was like, anytime, let me know. Yeah. And I'm like, Hold on, I'm so confused.
I mean, I saw her legs literally come up over the table and just be like, "You ready?"
Honey, like the
that's how deep it
flower,
was in real,
like the flower opening up, right?
Just like, you know.
Tyrone, what do you need? What do you want to say, Tyrone? It's so much I feel like you have to say and you want to say.
It's a lot. It's just I don't want to have a double standard. Like there's the touching and then there's the talking, right? There's the limit, and the limit is whatever she thinks it
100%.
is, right? So I don't know the backstory. I didn't see all the messages and all that stuff. So I'm just listening to them. I try to stay out of that. I'm waiting for the reunion to see what's going to come out from that.
I'm ready for the reunion like now. Like I don't even want to
spicy.
like I'm over the season already. Like let's just get to the reunion at this point.
Yeah,
that's
me too.
This reunion is going to be the best 2 episodes, I think, period.
For
of
sure.
the host season.
Oh yeah. I hope it doesn't do like last season though. And I think even on our season, the best reunion episode was the first one. And then it just kind of tapered off a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That was poor editing on that. They could have definitely still made it entertaining the second.
Yeah.
The second
So
one.
to clear it up too, when I was talking about her not being there when Cliff says those things, I was actually talking about Joy. So I guess you were bringing up where Clifton kind of crosses the line with his overt flirtatiousness.
Oh,
and you were saying that she's okay with it, and then I was like, I don't think she is okay with it.
Are you talking
and
about Joy?
Because and I was talking about Joy.
Okay.
Copy that. Yeah, and it's not just Clifton and her. She's been flirtatious in that sense, like sexually, sensually with other men as well.
I'm telling you, I said it publicly, yes. But if you can get her comfortable enough, get her to the crib. I think Paul said it too. You get her to the crib, you know, it could be a lot different.
100%. We're not in our 20s. She's a grown woman.
Yeah.
And with y'all seasons, y'all do a lot of stuff off camera. And so I always am wondering during these episodes when people are reacting to one another, what actually happened off camera versus what we're seeing. And are we seeing reactions to off camera stuff, or is it truly what we've seen on camera?
Right.
Seems like a mix of both.
Yeah,
it does.
Definitely.
Produced for sure.
By observation, yeah. I can tell when I'm watching you guys, like, ooh, we don't know the whole story because that right there was extra for some reason or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's circling to what we were talking about. That's exactly it. What's the whole story? That's what's missing.
Right.
There's
and
pieces that are missing.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I want to know. But from my understanding, this actually happened while they were filming. So, but we're going to move on, but I just definitely want to let everybody know, because everybody knows that, I feel some type of way about certain issues and I speak about certain issues on my platform. And that's one of the things that I do speak about as well. And I don't condone anything. I don't condone domestic violence. I don't condone bullying. And I definitely don't condone a man putting his hands on a woman in any type of way. No means no, period.
And no matter what she says or does before that. So that's not to give justification. But I was just saying it was confusing as to like seeing.
Oh, no, I agree. I agree. But just to close that out, 100%. I just wanted to put that statement out there so it's not
the disclaimers.
I think we all on that disclaimer together for sure.
Yeah, definitely disclaimers. Okay, so moving on, we have Cliff and hold on, did I miss something? What happened?
No,
disclaimer.
It's in solidarity. Just
that's our disclaimers. Like that's our new thing. It's like disclaimers. Like don't it's just.
Do I have to do it too?
Yes.
I mean,
you're more than welcome to.
It's just the right thing to do.
Look, whatever won't get me in trouble. I'm just
Right.
I'm just reviewing it. Okay, I'm reviewing it.
Disclaimers.
Right, exactly. Okay, so we have Cliff and we have Kenny. We're sitting down, or they're sitting down, and they're pretty much discussing Joy and Dakia at this time, and Kenny pretty much says that Joy is a better fit for Cliff. No. And Cliff is pretty much
what?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he's pretty much saying that, he's still gonna, keep his options open, and he still wants to explore Dakia and their connection. But, we all know, like,
We all know.
yeah,
We all
Clifton
know.
isn't like, they love each other to
Yeah.
death.
They are
They do.
love.
I think they're so cute. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think they're so cute.
They are literally like a match made. They're just they're
Yeah.
perfect. It's amazing.
Mm.
And I'm pretty
When
sure
When
if
she
that's
says
his,
like, "Oh, sorry,"
no, I was gonna say, and if that's his man, I'm pretty sure they already had that conversation
100%.
already.
100%.
Facts.
Yep.
Facts. Yeah, agreed.
My favorite thing about what Joy said about them is like something along the lines of, if I'm standing at the edge of the cliff, he's going to stand there with me and we're going to jump together.
Heck yeah, and that's exactly how it should be. I was
100%.
yes, girl, yes.
Just
Like,
from the
where can I
jump.
find one? Where can
You know?
I find one?
Come
Because-
on. Can you get that on Amazon?
I know, right? Like,
When you can
where
just
I
be
go?
yourself.
Like a man in a bag.
Did you say, can you get that on Amazon?
Can I get this
What
on
would you pay for that?
Amazon?
Is that Amazon Prime?
Where'd you get
Would you pay
that
for
at?
Yeah, you
Carl?
can,
Where'd
that's
get
on
that?
Prime only. Free delivery.
I
Like-
got Prime. I got Prime now. I got What's Up. I got Amazon What's Up now.
The one time where I would not wait for a sale, I would buy it retail price.
Listen.
Right.
full price.
I would
Full
actually
price.
just take my happy ass there and pick it up myself at this point.
Run it.
Okay.
Like I would go to wherever in the world
Yeah.
it is and be like, I'll see you in a minute.
The warehouse.
Getting that Amazon subscription service. Just keep it coming.
I can't
Wait.
trust that the delivery is gonna get there. I ain't trying to miss that package.
No, I don't want it to get locked in the office. I don't want it to be left outside my door. I'll go get it. Thank you.
Honey,
Thank you.
exactly. Child, y'all are too. I would not wait. I'd be like, he's full price. It's okay. Put him in the cart.
100%.
Put it on the black card.
Charge me interest. Do it all. Just give it to me already.
Just give me.
My man Phil.
Phil in the building.
Phil.
Oh, fuck.
Phil
Sorry.
finally
Donovan's
made it to
bestie.
the review.
Yeah.
You okay, Gus?
Yeah, I just cut myself. Sorry about that.
Oh no. Okay.
This ghetto ass chair.
Yeah. So Phil finally made it to a review. Just not any of it. love you, Phil.
Oh, shit.
What that
Damn.
mean?
Oh God, because Phil hasn't done any interviews or any.
Oh,
any
yeah. Mr. Low Key.
Yes, honey. So it's definitely good to see Phil. So Phil is friends with Donovan. Yes, and really, really excited to see Phil. He is meeting Sabrina and he is meeting Tina for Donovan. And the first one to show up is Sabrina. And yeah, Phil pretty much. I think what is so funny, Tyrone?
I don't know. I felt like she was giving Phil the googly eyes, but that's just me.
Who you talking about, Tina?
Sabrina.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of energy at that table. I really didn't know what I was reading, but it kind of felt like
Yeah.
a lot between everybody.
Pay
I think
attention.
everybody was looking around. Yeah. I'm with you on that, Ty.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pay attention to the little things, man.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So much. That's a lot, bro. Okay.
Run it back. You'll see.
I'm gonna go back. Look, I'm gonna go
I
back
watched
and
it
look
a few
now. I have
times.
to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to watch it a few times because I got to take these dang on pictures, and sometimes the screen be moving so fast. I got to go back and watch it like 3 times.
Even
Oh,
this look, it's kind of like how when y'all find this shot particularly.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're talking about, Ty. Because when a girl's looking at a guy, she's like, okay.
It's a mode. It's a
I
whole
think that's-
mode.
I think
Okay.
that's Tiffany right there, though. She's looking at. But there's
Tina.
I mean, I'm sorry, Tina.
Tina,
But I
she
think
was.
Phil sits
But
right
it's-
across from her, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it okay?
It's still the, I don't know,
Hold
body
on.
language, you
It's
know?
the extra glance. It's like it's
Oh,
the extra
shoot.
glance before she looks away, right? It's just like a 1,000, 2,000, 3. Okay,
Mhm.
you've seen that, Jay. Sure you've
So
seen
she might be thinking she was on the wrong season too.
Oh,
that.
Mixed up when they did casting. They put the 2 on the 1 and the 1 on the 2. Okay.
Mhm. Sabrina wouldn't have minded that seat.
She says she's here to experience dating, so she's open.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So
Fair enough.
Phil explains how he has been through the process before. He asked Tina how many connections she had. And she's like, it's up there. It's up there. So he was feeling some type of way because she ain't really get no answer. And then Sabrina was like, yeah. So Sabrina was like, I'll go. Well, I like Donovan, and Donovan kind of played like leapfrog. He kind of like jumped over the other connections, and he's pretty much up at the top. And Phil pretty
Where's
much
his gift?
goes.
Ooh.
See,
At the top, it would be a personal gift, though, right? Like personal.
Oh, the extra shade.
She should have brought everybody a candle. That would have really been funny.
That would be amazing.
That would have been funny.
You get a candle. You get a candle. You get a candle.
Right.
Everybody gets a candle. Everybody gets a candle. They just all at home smelling the candle like Sabrina, Venus flytrap.
And
What'd
she's
you
like,
get?
yeah, I mean, all your mom.
What'd you get? Summer's Eve. Like,
Oh
No, it would
not
have
a Summer's
it would have been that Erykah Badu. Oh no, I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, man.
that's funny.
y'all have my cheeks hurting today. I just wanted y'all to know.
Yes, I'm like,
Oh man.
It was a long day at the office. I appreciate y'all right now.
Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. So
I have bad news. I got to cut out because my phone is going to die. And I have my everything in. I'm so sorry
Dang.
to miss it
Just
right before
plug
the
it up.
sound. Then I take the ear out and then I can't. I tried it and it's distorting the sound and everything.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having
We'll be here in 2 hours. I know how Sabrina do.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So
Clear my schedule till Wednesday.
I'll charge the phone for about 20 minutes and then I'll come back and see if y'all are still here.
Oh, we'll be here.
We'll still be here. We'll still be here.
Okay, boo.
If not,
We
it
got
was
at
an
least 5 more
absolute-
scenes, right?
Do we?
It's,
almost
I mean,
over?
I mean,
There's two and a half more scenes.
Okay, I'm gonna charge it up and I'll come back. But if I come back and you're not there, it was an absolute pleasure hanging out with all of y'all.
Yeah.
I'm like gonna have like smile and teeth marks tomorrow too from just smiling and having so much fun. And
thank you.
absolutely. And
Hey,
I'll let
we meet you, brother.
you
See
too,
you.
all of you.
Good.
All right.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay.
He's cool.
Okay. So, what was I getting ready to say? Where were we?
Well, Phil thought that Sabrina's answers were contrived. You did kind of point out how.
Oh.
Phil
If Phil, he said it was. Yeah, he kind of was like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm not really buying it. She said all the right things. He said something like that.
Yes, he did. He did.
Mhm.
And
Which means a lot because he's been through this process,
Mhm.
gone all the way to the end. So yeah, he was kind of giving the looks like, I see you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
yeah. But either way, I know that Tina really seemed very detached to me. This episode and this scene pretty much, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I do know that, where is that picture? Oh, here you go. Donovan asked her, he's like, are you going to eat? She's like, oh, I already ate. And he was like,
Yeah. He made a face.
Right?
He made a face
He was
after
like-
that, right?
he
Yeah,
was
he
like,
kind of rolled his eyes.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like he checked out too, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, well, when you show up with that kind of energy, I can't really be, I can't be mad at Donovan because
Yeah.
it's giving like, meh, she's giving blah energy. So, which is fine. I get it. She's a little justified. She doesn't really feel like there's anything going on the show, but it's bleeding off into other people's energy.
I mean, she was the last one to come on as far as females, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the fact that she doesn't have a connection or seemingly have a connection with anybody else.
Mm-mm.
So she's ready to go home if that's the case.
Yeah, nothing seems to be working. It's like she read everybody and was like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. But
And she said she normally likes older guys, but all these guys are older compared to her age. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, she's only
Yeah.
like 31.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Donovan is 42, Paul is 48, and Demetrius is what, like 41 or 42 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I thought that I mean, I don't know, because the way she was moving in the beginning, she was really feeling Paul.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to give Demetrius like an opportunity, and she was like kind of feeling Donovan too with their date.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought they had good connection, they had great conversation, they talked about their kids, and you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
I feel like now is the point where like they're really making decisions whether to stay or go, because the last thing they want is to be the oddball, you know, at the retreat.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
there, and they're gonna be there for 2 days.
But they didn't even know anything
know?
about the retreat at this
I'm
point,
sure they
though.
might have had an idea, right?
Did you guys
idea.
have an idea?
I mean, we've seen previous seasons. We knew it was coming eventually. But even then, like your journey, like you want to be true. And when you start to see other people drop out, you're like, shit. Why am I really here? You know,
All her connections were still there, though. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Like all
Maybe
her
they're not making phone
Paul,
calls.
who was it? Paul, Donovan, and
Demetrius-ish.
oh yeah, that came out of nowhere, didn't it?
She wasn't feeling Demetrius.
Not at first.
She's just going with her gut, even though she was fighting her gut a little bit. She's like, nah, on him. But still, I did think her and Donovan had a good date, so I'm not sure.
So did I.
What she's going through right now.
Yeah. Someone said in the chat that Tina was embarrassed by her ex. This dinner was probably 28 to 48 hours later. But that does make sense, because he did kind of like throw her under the bus, and she probably was like, dang, like that's real messed up or whatever. But then too, she probably caught on too, like, dang, they've been putting that I'm 31 years old. But then they said that they dated in high school in 2003, and in 2002, 2003, she was in high school. Subtract 31, you know, the math wasn't in real life, literally mathing. So, and maybe she was like, oh shoot, like maybe she got caught up. It caught up to her, and she felt some type of way. And I mean, I don't know what be going through these people's mind. You know what I'm saying? But
she's very vocal on social media about it all.
I don't know. She said
something
me,
about
so.
toxicity. She blocked you.
She blocked me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Now you're a blogger, basically. Like, so now you're not, because kind of are an RTL. You've never met her?
I've never met her.
What did you say?
I've never said anything. Think about it. I am not one of those bloggers where I be talking bad about these castmates. Like, I really just be reviewing like the episodes. I don't say anything bad. I just be reviewing what I see on the TV screen. And even if it isn't to their like in a positive, like fantastic, great light, I don't be shaming nobody. I don't be belittling nobody. I don't be calling people out their names and stuff like that. Yeah. So I really don't know why. It's unfortunate, but it's cool, because I don't know. I'm always getting blocked by people I don't check for. So
Wait, you've been blocked? We'll have a blocking conversation.
Yeah, because
I have. And it'd be people that I don't even follow. I don't even be on their page. I don't even be checking, like, let me see what she doing. Like, I don't, like, they might have a post, and what happens is I follow hashtag ready to love.
Right.
So that's what happened. So somebody had a post up, and Tina had put a post up about like her podcast that she has or whatever, because I don't follow her. She doesn't follow me. I don't think, or didn't. So I was like, wow.
She definitely ain't following you now.
Right. So, I mean, no sleep loss, but and I was like, oh, wow, she has a podcast. That's so cool. So I clicked on her name, Tina Beautiful Show or something like that. So I clicked on her name because they tagged her, and it was like, this user is not found. I was like, oh Lord, she done deactivated her social media. I said, she's really going through it. I said, oh my God. I was like, I hope she's okay. Like, she done deactivated. I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. The show done got to another one. I said, wait a minute. I said, let me go on my other Instagram account and let me go search her and see. And that thing popped right up. I said, this lady done blocked me. I said, well, what did I do? Why did she block me? I said, it's not like I was ever checking for her. I never really thought that. I said, well, okay. So I don't know.
Well, now you know how the other bloggers feel when they get blocked like that. I've seen it happen to Kamisha and all of that stuff.
I don't care though. It does it, but I know I can't see her, so I don't know what she's saying.
Would I care if I'm blocked? Yeah, no.
I don't care.
No, I can't guess to see if anybody's
I
blocking
still
me.
gotta pay these bills, and my money ain't gonna stop. So they can block me on it.
I've never been the type to not have concern. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I thought it was kind of weird.
I see Phil got cleaned up for the show. I'm not mad at it.
My man's looking good. He came in.
Let's give props where they're due. You know what I mean?
He's probably happy that he's not in the hot seat. He can say what he want to say and don't have to worry about nothing. Right.
So much more comfortable.
That's how me and Tyrone, that's why we be saying what we be saying all the time. And I know Jay probably feels the same way too. Like, to just talk about it and it's relevant, so it's fun to us. So, but in real life, we don't got to take the heat now. Like, we can talk about the other people heat.
On the especially like on our channel, like I say what I want to say, and it's unfiltered and it's still respectful, but I don't have to worry about it. You know how this can be edited. You know
exactly.
Whenever Ty gets that look on his face, he got something he want to say, and he's at the end of the second cup.
I ain't got nothing.
Yes, you do.
I'm not on this, especially now.
No.
Okay.
What else was there? I think what you call it? I feel like if I wrote my notes correctly, that Phil had said something about Donovan's highs and lows, and Sabrina felt like he was still finding himself. Which I was a little thrown off by until Donovan revealed that he's only been single for 3 or 4 months.
That's crazy.
From dating.
Oh wait.
What's wrong with that?
But wait. Each one of you guys have been on the show. Okay. Talking to Ty and I'm talking to Sabrina one. There's an interview process.
Yeah.
And then from what I understand, all of y'all were selected at the same time from the same casting and put on different seasons. So your season had to run. That was a 3-month process, right? And then they filmed right afterwards, from what I understand. Okay. So that means that you had to be selected for this 4 months prior, at least, when casting was done.
Yeah.
So if you've been out of a relationship for 3 months and casting was at least 4 months ago, the math ain't mathing either.
But those were his words, and with the fact that he's Phil's friend, like Phil had the whole lowdown before, you know. So
yeah, but
there's something to it.
If you're saying you've only been single for 3 months,
he said it.
Right. So if the show, you would have applied for the show 4 months ago, then the math ain't mathing.
I don't know. Maybe Sabrina 2.0 was onto something when she said that, you know, he's still finding himself, because I didn't get it until it was revealed that he's fresh.
Yeah.
All right.
So maybe
Come on, Ty.
Maybe I could try my best to explain it.
Okay.
So when I got the application to go after it, I was still technically like dating, right?
Okay.
But then I was like, I'm just gonna see how this goes, because if I don't get picked, then I'm gonna keep dating, right?
Right.
But then I got chosen, and I'm like, shit. How do I tell the people that I'm dating that I'm about to be on this show? Okay. So I had like this little window to like slowly but surely
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wait.
Let them know or not let them know. You know,
well, maybe I'm misunderstood.
It out. Yeah.
Oh, he was dating,
he was
in a relationship.
I thought he was in a relationship, if not even a marriage. Who's child's kid? Like who?
His marriage ended like a year and a half before the show, or something like that.
Okay.
But so after his marriage, he dated people.
Okay.
So before the show, he was dating someone. They broke up 3 or 4 months prior to him.
Okay, that's different. That's different.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, and you never know when you're going to start filming either. So it's not like your life has to stop because you're about to start filming, and you don't, if they may have, he was maybe going to do season 1, and then they decided to put him on season 2, and then you got 2 or 3 months before. Yeah, okay.
He said he was divorced officially for 9 months ago.
Dated for
6 months and been single for 3. That's a lot of activity for under a year, but so maybe he is still finding himself.
But you have to also remember too, and someone actually told me this not too long ago, when a person finally gets divorced, and it just happened 9 months ago, they tapped out like a year ago.
Yeah.
Or you got to
before
remember,
it ended.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
sometimes the divorce process can take 6 months. Sometimes it can take 9 months. Sometimes it could take a year. So in real life, him and his wife probably it was separated a year before the divorce, even,
Right.
happened. So that's technically that's almost 2 years. So you have to think about it like that too. So
True.
Appreciate y'all for making that plan for me. I was like, my man was married 3 months ago. Like,
yeah, I didn't know. Yeah,
right. Yeah, I was confused too, and then I got clarity on it. So
he drove from divorce court to interviews.
Man.
Exactly.
Like as soon as I leave here, I gotta hit up.
Right. Like, well, we almost done. I got to go to a casting tomorrow.
Right. He still got a sticker from the court on his shirt before he went to the resort. Like,
Right. Okay, so Paul meets up with Dakia, and he decided he wanted to have a one-on-one. Oh, wait a minute. So Donovan and I forgot to say. So Donovan and Phil, they talk about Tina. So pretty much Donovan was like, I don't really know about Tina because she does have a career and she does have a young child. And he's like, pretty much, where do I fit into that? So he was like, I need to think about this a little bit deeper. Like, is she someone that would make sense for me to pursue? That's pretty much what he was saying. And of course, he said tonight that she didn't really seem like she cared. She was disengaged. And Phil was like, you trying to get me in trouble. Oh, and Sabrina wants a family. And he's like, I already have 2 kids. He's like, but, if I do date her and she becomes my wife, and if she wanted kids, then of course I would do it. And he's pretty much like, you're like, what do you think? Like, who's the best fit? And Phil was like, you're not going to get me in the middle of this. And he tells Donovan to just pretty much be selfish. And and he's not going to pick for Donovan. He just says pretty much be selfish in this situation and pick the best person for you. So
what do you guys think about that family comment? Because for me, it threw me off a little bit. With Donovan being like, he has 2 kids, but if he marries somebody, he seems a little indifferent, but he also seems cool with the family that he has. So it's like, does he need to make a choice on that? I mean, I can't really tell what he wants, is what I'm saying. Like, does he want a family and more kids, or is he just like, whatever happens, happens?
Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
He's not.
That's kind of a tough thing to throw in the air on a whole family.
But see, the thing is, and I feel the same way. My thing is I don't want any more kids. I don't want any more kids because you know why? I don't want another baby daddy. I don't want it now. If I have a husband, I meet this amazing man. He don't have no kids. Everybody's situation is different. And he's like, baby, look, I'm worth $9 billion. You don't even gotta work. You could just stay home and eat chicken and fruit and chocolate all day. I'll get someone, I'll pay someone to rub your feet all day and rub your temples all day. Just stay home and be pregnant and have my baby. And how can I say no to that? The doctor has said that you are healthy. You can have as many babies as you want at your age, Sabrina. If you want to pop one out, pop one out. I just feel like it just has to make sense. So you know what I'm saying?
But that's clear. You're very clear.
Absolutely. Do I want any more children just to be happy? No. Like, it needs to make sense. Are we financially going to be able to take care of kids? How many kids are you going to be bringing into this situation? Why you want another kid? Like, I just don't understand. Like, you going to be able to, what if I lose my job and you lose your life? Like, where we going to live? You going to be able to change the diaper at 3:00 in the morning? Like, you trying to do this? Like, for real? Like, come on, make it make sense first before we, so Naomi Campbell, she was 50 years old last year and she had a baby.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it can happen. It just
Mhm.
needs to make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
What kind of drink is that?
Yeah, I think his kids are kind of older too, right? So he's almost on the tail end of, his kids
Yeah,
about to
like
be
11
grown.
and 14 or
And
something like
15 or
that.
16.
So the-
Yeah, 11,
Yeah.
16, 15.
They're like teenagers, so it just needs to make sense. But I get it. He's like, if my wife wants one, then like, how can I deny her that? And that was the same thing that I said about Walter on our season. Like I came into the show, they were like, you want kids? I was like, not really. Like I always wanted a boy. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to have kids? I've always said I wanted a house full of kids, but I'm not going to just have a bunch of kids by a random Joes. Like I want a husband, but I'm not married, so I'm not going to have no more kids.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I meet somebody like Walter, we ended up being together in real life. This man don't have no kids. Considering what happened to his wife, he didn't have no kids with her. Me and Walter get married. He's worth $9 billion. And you know what I'm saying? And he wants me to have his baby. Guess what? How can I deny my husband that?
Yeah.
And
I
the
feel
doctor's
like-
like, you're healthy.
I feel like if he was worth $9 billion, he wouldn't have been on that bridge.
Start making some concessions and negotiations.
No. Your camera ain't messed up today. Come on.
I ain't even gonna hold you. Okay, how old is the other girl? Where's she gonna be? What's the rotation? What are we doing? What's the rotation?
I know I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks, but I just was waiting for you to call me, and I will accept this role.
Right.
We're gonna walk off this bridge together. Come on,
Right.
you would have dragged him off the bridge.
Right. Why you acting like that?
Yeah. Why you acting like that? Boy, stop.
Game would have been changed. Yo.
Right.
Oh no.
Facts.
Facts.
Right. Thank you. You always keep it 100. Don't stop now.
Oh man.
Right. Oh,
That security will do something to you.
God.
Stability,
Make
come
that
on.
drink stop, don't it, boy?
Oh my God, y'all are
We love
funny
some
to
That would
stability.
have been the real Sabrina Fire trap, boy. He would not be able to leave.
Right.
death. Nowhere.
Clamp.
Oh my God. Oh God. I'm like,
Maintenance, I'm on my way. Whatever you.
pop out too. Shoot. Just in case.
Your outdoor pool, your airstrip. You think I need all
Right. $1 billion. You said billion? Yeah, I'm on my way.
Right.
On my way.
Right.
Difference in the left change a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know?
That's shut the fuck up money too.
Exactly. I mean,
Shit. What you gonna do?
She wouldn't worry about somebody buying nobody tires. Bro, you about to buy me out, but I'm not worried about you.
sure.
You looking like Vanna White. She turned that M over and it's actually a B. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we good.
Right.
Right.
But M though, I don't sleep at 9 M's. That's still a little something to work with now. You can have your family in peace.
Facts. Oh shoot. Yay!
Still here.
Hey, we only progress one scene too.
Yeah. You didn't miss any. Yeah.
I think Gus actually missed the best
Yo.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, we went a little far down the rabbit hole on that one.
oh, good. It makes me feel better than about not being the only one that does that.
No, we didn't even say anything about
I
this.
told you,
right?
girl. So I was like, we'll see you in a little bit. We'll be here.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on, we got Paul and Dakia. They are on a one-on-one date. And Dakia asked PO pretty much like, what are you looking for? He says he ain't looking for nobody. And, he like pretty much, well, I can tell you, he tells her about his wants and what he needs. And he says that he wants a lady that is 5'3". And he doesn't want a lady with long legs because she's gonna be snatching the covers. And I was like, well, shoot, if I ever thought about dating Paul, that's a no.
Complete no. 5'10" over here. Can't do that.
Exactly. Like I'm all legs.
I'm all legs.
All right. So me and him wouldn't work. And pretty much he wants someone that can take his sense of humor. And, he says pretty much, his jokes are corny. And she was like, tell me something about yourself that no one knows. And he does tell Dakia that he does paint. And they pretty much toast to potential. Would anyone like to speak on this?
Stop it. Cut
Really?
it out.
Like he is. I'm sorry. First of all, since I'm back, let me get in hot, coming hot.
Go ahead, Gus. Go ahead, Gus. Go ahead, Gus.
How would you see yourself with somebody like him? It makes no sense to me.
That's what they said.
It makes no sense. Like there's no substance to him. Like he doesn't ever dig deep, and you're someone that just loves to like dive into the waters that are like deep, and he's just like, I'm gonna stay in the kiddie pool and kick my feet in the water like I'm just pretending to do something serious. Like, really, tell me something about yourself that nobody knows. I paint. That's it. I'm gonna get to know you better because you like to paint.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. I
And that's
don't
kind of
get it.
shocking coming from the guy who was grilling Tiffany in episode 2 to like say this, say that. If you, I need more. I'm not getting enough from her.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really say much of anything.
Yeah.
He was on Tiffany's tail about not sharing. Like he was asking the most wildest, random questions.
And the countless excuses of being like, I need this because I need this and I need this. It's like, I get it. I've been that picky to justify my needs and my wants. But at the end of the day, he seems still stuck in them. Like those are real, actual problems. Like I can't lose my covers. I can't have somebody kicking my covers off of me. I wouldn't be able to live. And it's like,
He only said that to make it relevant for Dakia because she fit the narrative of what he was trying to explain what he wanted. That's all that was. Trust me, if I walked up to Paul and said, "What's up?" He would not be like, "She has long legs. I'm going to give it."
Neither one of us.
Well, thank you, because then I'm not the only villain here because you just validated the fact that there's no surface. He's going to continually be that person that crafts and cultivates the sculpture to the needs of his liking, and then be able to make sure someone else enjoys it as well. It's where's the authenticity? Where's the depth? Where's the real urge to love somebody and show that you're ready to love?
I was always Team Paul. In every episode, I just wanted Paul to like show a different side of him, talking about that authenticity, and it just didn't really happen.
No.
Didn't really happen.
It's because you're so nice, Tyrone. You were like, I have hope. And I was like, I never did.
No, I mean, I wanted to be like, Paul, like put the drink down. You know what I mean? And just talk to these ladies.
See, he reminds me of Corey from last season. And I had hope for Corey. Like I had hope for him in the beginning. So I get it.
Corey was doing well, honestly, from what I was seeing. Corey was doing well. He just
things you weren't seeing weren't doing well in his favor.
Yeah.
So
does anybody have anything else to say about Paul?
P.O.'s checklist for me was just, again, speaking to his non-authenticity, just kind of seemed like a mishmash of what everybody would say. Oh, simple, but not simple. Be my piece, but be interesting. Be about, like, it just kind of like gave me nothing again to kind of go off of, to understand. Like if I was a woman dating him and I don't know what he needs. I don't know what makes his soul happy. I wouldn't know what to gift him. I wouldn't know, like,
you never would either.
I don't know how to come.
Would you have still toasted to potential though?
I don't know. I can't say, because the show invites so many different dynamics that I cannot speak to, because I just don't know what I would do being put on the spot like that.
I think there's a lot of people that didn't expect P.O. to be this far into the season,
including himself.
He said that. He said that, right? But I also feel like there's something about being Switzerland. Like to me, P.O. is Switzerland, right? He's never too far left. He's never too far right. And he's safe. And I feel like that was probably one of the worst jokes he could have told. I was like, come on, bro. At all, I like P.O. though. I like the fact that he's smooth and he just kind of gives you that uncle vibe. and this and that. I like him, but I think, okay, bro, I got to tell you, the comparison to Corey was kind of messed up. Like that was like, come on, like.
Oh, I feel like it's so accurate, like
Really?
spot on bullseye. Absolutely. Think about it. Corey was cultivating everything he needed to do that he thought he should do to bring somebody in, these women in. That's exactly what PO's been doing this whole time. Just like he showed in this thing we're talking about. He said that, like Sabrina the lady said, because that's what was sitting in front of him. So that's what Corey was doing.
I agree, but I feel like he does it in a more mature way. Corey just came off as an adolescent amongst men.
In the beginning, I called him a mature Corey. That's exactly what I called him. I said Corey in 10 years. Yeah.
But I haven't seen him lie. Like Corey got caught red-handed and he would do stuff like Pat, the note thing. I've been working on my romance game. So I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing that he did with the notes at the pool, I was like, yo, that's so dope because it gave a woman a certain feeling, and every woman wants to feel like she's wanted in that way. And it just wants to be from the right guy. And I feel like he would do these things that would normally be authentic and considered authentic, but at the end of the day, the way he delivered them was so messed up. You can't all the girls that are on the same season that are going to talk to each other, that you want them all to meet your mother and think that that's not going to come, your parents, and think that that's not going to come back at you. I don't see PO doing that type of stuff.
Well, that's more than what PO's doing, though. That's the problem. And I think PO is 10 years ahead of Corey, so he knows not to do those things. You put Corey 10 years ago or put Paul 10 years ago, I bet he was doing the same thing. You put Corey in 10 years, he'll be doing the same thing. And there you go. Where's the effort from PO? At least Corey was trying, whether it was displaced and honest or not. Besides him just wanting to bone the beautiful young one, there's no effort. That he talks about her like there's something there, like he's cultivated something. There's nothing there except for her beautiful presence.
I feel like we see moments of authenticity, even though you don't feel like you maybe get a lot of depth out of PO. Like him basically kind of accidentally maybe calling Carmen out. I don't think he meant to say it that way. When y'all referenced it, when he was like, well, she didn't have any depth or whatever cases, but she got a little bit of unshallowness or whatever the term was. I feel like that was really how he felt. And he said it was, I don't think Corey would have said that. I haven't seen him get caught in a bunch of lies. And so maybe that's tenure, but I just don't think that he's, Corey would lie I'm like, bro, this is being taped. Like they can just play it back. You know that, right? Like it's,
But Paul's experience, I think, has him handle that differently. The way that he is, when I watch Paul, I look at his eyes and he is calculating everything. He's quiet, but underneath there, he's thinking, don't react like I did 10 years ago. Hold this space here to give a different result. I can't trust what's going on in there when I watch him. And that's how I felt with Corey. And I wanted to trust it because like you said, the intention was there. The romance game was right. Even like Corey said in the reunion last season, he was there trying to do the right things. He didn't know he was doing it wrong. I don't see PO doing any of the right things or trying to do them at all, at least.
Yeah, I'm going to agree to disagree with you, and I respect
Likewise.
your opinion. And who knows? I may be surprised, but I like PO, and I've never met him in life and none of that stuff. So I don't have a dog in this race on this fight. I just feel like Paul he just gives me uncle vibes, and I feel like the women that like a seasoned man are attracted to that. Yeah. Ty has nothing to say. Yes, he does.
I do. I mean, I had a little bit of.
You go hand over eyebrow, it's coming.
Yeah, I had some flashbacks about that joke because Kerry roasted me in front of everybody for the joke I told on our date.
What joke did you tell?
It was bad timing, but it was at the end of me and Kerry's date. I said we were toasting, and I said there's wooden ships and steel ships and fast ships and slow ships. But the best ships is friendships. Toast. And she was like, corny.
Yeah, that was. I like it though. I like it.
It's kind of nice.
I was trying to toast. I was trying to toast to say like at least we could still be friends right now.
Right. I would have been like, oh,
That's not
100%.
bad. I like that.
cheers.
100%.
That was who did it? John McCain. That was John McCain's toast.
Okay.
I probably messed it up though.
Tyrone, the thing is with you, like when we watched you last season, like you felt so authentic and misunderstood in so many ways.
Yeah.
But there was never one moment where I was like, this is a bad man, or I don't like the way he's moving. Like you're a good guy. It's very obvious. So if they didn't like it, we do, and they can go eat their ship somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. I loved it. I loved it.
Hey, send that one to me the next time I do a toast.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna one more little thing. I guess women might be into that, and maybe some men are as well. But there is no chance in hell that I would ever be attracted to the energy that Paul gives off. And I like men. I like men. There's nothing in him that feels manly and secure. It feels like an injured little boy sometimes.
Really?
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't think I could.
The way that he said that about Carmen, the way he was like, he blurted out like a kid, like, oh, she's this, but she could be this. Like, no man is that thoughtless. A man thinks before he speaks.
So we should ask you, Gus, who would you date from the seasons then?
Shit.
Laverne.
Okay.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Now I have to get the why.
He just seems like he really knows what he wants. And he stands in that. And he is more of the alpha. For me, that's what I need. I'm very obviously like, but I need someone that's there. But I like to be able to bring someone else down because then it puts myself in check a little bit.
Okay.
And he just has this awareness, I think, of self that I don't see from the other guys. And it can come across cocky from some people, but to me, it just seems like he knows his worth.
Okay. I get that.
And that's sexy to me.
Okay. So I want to argue with you more about, but I just realized something. No. I want to, because I totally disagree with the PO thing, but you have a lot more experience with relationships with men than I do.
All right.
So as I'm digging like 10 doors down in this argument, I'm like, wait, he's the subject matter expert. Like, between you and the two women up here, like, you know more than me about relationships with men. So I really can't argue with you.
Right.
And I can see why you would want to be
say?
homies with PO.
Who am I to say?
Right. That's it.
And that's fair right there, Jay.
That's fair. Yeah. And you're right, he's an uncle.
Y'all know I love a good argument. I just can't right now. Damn it.
And scene.
Right.
Arguments shut down. I'll see y'all later.
Right.
I was like, what the hell?
I don't have this problem when I argue with Ty. We both have the same experiences, but I digress. Go ahead.
All right, guys. So the next scene we have Tori meeting Ace. Oh, shoot. I already had it up. Tori meets Ace. And the reason they're meeting is because, which I'm surprised that they're meeting, is because Ace, remember, she did not show up to the friends date with Tori and Sabrina and his friend Ash. Was it Ash? Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't remember, and I don't want to go back. Okay, so she pretty much sits down and he's pretty much telling her, like, I'm disappointed, like, you didn't meet me or meet me and my friend. And she's explaining to him, like, it's no slight to the amazing Tori that you are. She's like, but she sees how he looks at Sabrina. She sees how he truly, like, really feels about Sabrina. And she says if she would have met his friend, then that would have meant that she wanted to go deeper into a relationship, which was no more than friendship that she wanted from him. And she pretty much self-eliminates. And she also mentions that she has made a love connection elsewhere. So would anyone like to speak on this?
I don't know. I don't remember her saying that. I need more details.
Yeah, you need
what happened?
Okay, so what happened was She has said that she had made a love connection elsewhere and that she wanted to needed to go because she had realized it that Tori has really liked it, Sabrina. It's unfortunate that Sabrina really didn't like him and does not like him, even though that she had brought him a candle, and even though he was the only one that she had brought the candle to, because she didn't bring nobody else a candle.
Mhm.
And that's actually the least person she had a connection with. But Ace was just like, like I was really feeling Laverne, but unfortunately he just ain't here no more. And I just felt like if I had met your friend, and that meant like I really liked you, but I don't really like you, so I think it's just time for me to go.
Yeah.
Plus, I have made a love connection somewhere else. Okay.
Oh, so I didn't know that actually happened like in real time.
Mhm.
Noted self. Yeah. I mean, God, that was a lot. I mean, shit. Like to be.
I don't remember her saying she made a love connection with someone else. What did I miss?
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it was in the middle of her. It's probably about 2/3 way through, and I was like, "Who is this mystery man?"
I have no idea.
Interesting.
I know.
Well, let's
I
just
feel
start
like
off.
her energy was so dope. Like she walked in
I
and
love Ace.
she just personifies phenomenal woman for me.
Yeah.
Like the way she dated, and she looked so at peace. And it was interesting. The one thing that kind of stood out to me, and she seems to be somebody that's of great character. The one thing that stood out to me is that, and maybe they didn't cover it, the reason why she didn't respond back. I got the reason why she didn't come to the date, but she seems to be somebody that's super respectful. So I'm just wondering why she didn't say, "Hey, I'm not going to make it," or maybe they didn't allow her to, or whatever.
Right.
Because that doesn't. She just seems like she just sits there and is like she just left a yoga session, and I love the energy. I love it.
She's so pretty.
So fucking pretty. She's
She's so pretty.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say though, take this with a grain of salt. The yoga session to me seems a little put on a lot of the time. Like even the beginning when she came in just smiling like that, it didn't feel authentic. It felt like a way to try to like to control the mood more so than like really create the mood. And that's, I know that because I was really indulging in the yoga for years, and I was like, everything is here, that's fine. And I found myself being like, you're not actually present. The true essence of yoganisms or yogi is to actually be present in the third dimension as well as ascend beyond it and play in all complexities of what's happening here and be present and aware and inhibits and play in every single thing that creates you, but come from a higher perspective. So, but the thing is, I see her doing that just to put on sometimes, and then I see her real self, and I'm like, there we go. There we go.
Can I? So I think we show up differently depending on who we're in front of, right?
Sabrina does it.
In this situation, at this part of the season, Tori isn't, I don't think, owning who he really is at this point because he's kind of off kilt a little bit, right? And so if you know that you can control the room with your presence and your power, and that power being peace, and in my view of who she is, then you have to turn that up a notch to project that and put that onto the other person. Because at this point, you are the alpha and that's the beta, right? And then you can lead with your energy and give that person your energy because she knows what she came in here to say when she sat down.
Yeah, and that's why I mean, once again, you and I will agree to disagree. I don't think you ever need to put on.
Yeah.
I think if you are just based in your true authentic energy, that is going to put someone at peace. And I've witnessed that, and I've been in that space. And when someone puts on, it actually, I'm not at ease if I feel somebody putting on, because then I can't trust where that's coming from, and if it's coming from a true, honest place. And I know with her, she wanted to come from a true, honest place. You see it all around her. She's a goddess, for God's sakes. Yeah. Let's be honest. So that's why it's just that's just my observation, though, in watching her move throughout the show, is that it seems to me, and I don't know her, that she's finding her balance of just being present and authentic and knowing that's enough as having to put on to be something all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of caught that too a little bit. And I think I used to live in that space. So I get it where, I'm a host. I have, I have a personality. I'm doing all these things. I have to show up. I'm hosting the events. And, you know, just to be like, I don't know, I just smile all the time because I smile through things. And if you just smile and I'd realize like, I actually don't always feel like smiling. I smile a lot though, but
But she could have found way more peace than you found in those moments and being that place currently in this moment. That makes sense too. But
wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
She may have found the peace in these moments more than you were in those moments, if that makes sense, to just be genuinely grounded in that peace of mind, that center. But yes, what you're talking about is just being like affected, still unaffected, possibly. Is that what you mean?
No, just needing to say something like that or to put on to be that, if that's not I'm talking about presence. So again, like you said, she exudes the energy. I mean, she's got us, you know, and I agree with you too, Jay. She knew what she was sitting down to say.
100%.
And Tori is a little off kilter. So I could see,
Nurturing.
I understand the need to turn up the volume on love and light just to neutralize the situation. But, you know, her presence is enough. It doesn't need
Correct.
to be anything more than that. Being present is enough. There's no icing on the cake that she needed to move through or exude to neutralize the situation.
Quick
She's
question.
more than enough. Let's be
I
honest.
just see a bunch of people in the chat asking what Ty's response is to this thing.
Yeah, all right. So I never denied it. I was always a fan of Aces.
I'm just kidding.
You know, she's like everyone's fan favorite, right?
Yeah.
I feel like in some of the moments, especially this one with Tori, I feel like she's more using this moment to help Tori as much as she can with the screen time that she has left. Another thing that I notice is that sometimes in those stressful environments, or when they're kind of questioning her or putting her through a little stress, she does this thing. Anyone see that movie, Point of No Return? And there's a scene in Point of No Return where it's like almost a little bit of a stressful moment for her, and she says, "I never did mind about the little things, you know, but with a smile." And
Right.
she does that, you know, quite often. Yeah, that's about it.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, there's comments about the new romance. The new romance was not me.
Oh.
Now it is.
You talking about Dan? I'm trying to figure something out.
I mean, because
I'm trying to see
the timing wouldn't have added up. So no.
That's why I was confused. I was like, how did that happen?
It wasn't me.
Well,
But,
if we were going to pretend that you guys are on the show together right now, in this date comp situation, what would you guys think of the compatibility?
Oh, I think it would be a really great match. Like a really great match.
Would she be wife, lady, or girlfriend?
I think I said it twice. She'd be. I said it twice that she'd be wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd definitely
Love that.
be wife. Yeah.
I feel like she would probably. So maybe you two should have been on this season, like ideally, right?
I think it's probably good that we weren't.
Yeah.
Do you know what
You don't
I
have
mean?
the pressure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you know, going through it, it really gives you the opportunity to figure out a lot of things about yourself.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a really good learning experience. I felt like for me, myself, I was on the tail end of figuring it out, still giving it a shot. It didn't work, but then sometimes when you want to give up, the universe is like, nah.
Yeah.
I give up. I give up.
The universe is
Right.
like, nah. So yeah.
That's what's up.
You definitely
would
seem
you-
like you were cultivating through different waters, huh? You're walking through different stages that you had to meet up in this space, it feels like.
Yeah, it was I mean, I'm all speaking present tense. Shit. No, it's good. I forgot what the question was, Gus.
No,
You're-
no.
you're
What'd you
good.
say?
Your energy says enough. I
Jay,
stand for
yeah,
it.
Jay, anything on this one?
I'm
Anything?
here for it.
Let me
No.
throw a lifesaver out there. Hey, Jay, you got anything on
Yeah.
this one?
Okay.
So Ty, would you like to nip the speculation in the bud? Would you like to?
Oh yeah.
That's
So
pretty
we
bad.
Yeah, go ahead. I will. Like we met at their premiere party, and it's been good ever since. But I feel like in the situation, I try to have respect for her and her journey, and allowing her to make the announcement as opposed to what I'm doing right now. So
We can skip to the next. You want to skip to the next subject, Ty?
no, I mean it's all good.
Okay.
We've had these conversations, so it's all good.
You guys must have such a beautiful, peaceful home together. Your energies, like that seems like it'd be a magical atmosphere to be around you guys.
It's fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I have like
It's
tears of
amazing.
joy coming through my eyes, almost chills.
Mhm.
I'm so happy for you, for both of you.
Thanks.
So I was the reason why I didn't call you like, hey man, why you didn't make the Houston is because I was like, okay, I know.
Shit, I can't.
Why would you go to Houston? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats,
Well,
man.
I'm
That's
happy.
awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
Love it.
absolutely happy. I feel like you're an amazing guy, Tyrone, and you deserve someone just as amazing as you are.
Now I can't call you the logo anymore.
Nope.
Damn. Congrats, no fam.
Thanks.
Mhm.
Love.
Yes, absolutely. I know.
Hey, ladies,
How
let's
did
just
it get
give up.
out?
Let's give up.
Huh?
I said, how did
Goddamn.
it get out? Huh?
Goddamn, Kamisha had said some shit. Some shit.
Who?
Kamisha.
Are you sure it was her that dropped it at first?
I had if people were paying attention to me, I had hinted multiple times. But the first time I saw like a picture of me and her on social media together was on Kamisha.
But where did she
Unless
get
I
it
missed
from?
it. Huh?
I was about to say, how did she get it? She be getting it.
Wow. Oh,
I don't know.
Have y'all been out and about though?
Once. We went out with Sean once. But it was nothing. So if you look at Sean's post in the back for that spades tournament, we went.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I know, and I ain't, you know me. You tell me something, I don't know nothing. I might mess with you on these lives and
To
be
the,
like,
to the
"Oh,
grave. What?
look, bro. God asked me so with the time, like, look, Lord, I ain't gonna lie to you, but I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
I know you brought me here and I done some sketchy stuff, and I appreciate being here.
Right.
Mm.
Okay, so
Congrats, bro.
does anyone have anything else to say about Tori and Ace? No?
no, I think it was good.
It's a footnote at
Everything's
this
been
point,
said, and
yeah.
she did it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she ghosted him though. Just gonna put that out there.
That
I
doesn't feel like that happened either.
Yeah, just out of
I'm
respect.
gonna say she didn't. It wasn't a no call, no show. If I was to guess,
Okay, that's
No,
what I
that's
All right,
my
that- I
instinct
mean, that
was
makes
as
sense.
well. Yeah.
I was looking at your
Yeah.
body language when I
without
was saying
telling,
that.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
There was some things that she, they were asking her to admit to something, and she didn't admit to it. It's because it didn't happen.
Fair enough. I can see that. And I feel like she's the type of young lady that I was surprised though. So that's the first time we've seen somebody self-eliminate through a scene that didn't involve Tommy.
I was surprised as well for that.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
And without Ty being here, I would say this, and I'm gonna say it with you here, bro, and I'm saying it with respect. I feel like she's the type of woman that owns herself and doesn't ask permission to be authentically who she is.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that was that, or I mean, because production has control on what they air,
Yeah.
but we also have production to what things we show up for.
Absolutely.
So you can either get it now or you're not gonna get it at all. It's up to y'all.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was it with respect though, because there's parts of the process that you don't get a chance to make choices. And if you're the type of person that owns who you are, then you're not going to answer every call that somebody has to you to come. There's plenty of them that I mean, at certain points, production was like, look, you giving us the business. And I was like, look, I'm not about to do that. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not
you're
about to do in real life. And that's not what I'm about to do now.
Do y'all
you're
feel
a
like-
nightmare for them.
Do y'all
Yeah.
feel like Tommy didn't know?
No,
I mean,
no.
Tommy
I
knows
think
everything,
he knew.
bro.
I don't think how he could not know.
Yeah.
That was my initial thought when I saw it. I was like,
Oh, let's pretend like we don't know. Yeah.
yeah, like how does Tommy not know? Like,
Yeah.
that's just me though.
Yeah.
So,
Everything. Yep, Sabrina, that's your cue. That's
So they meet in the men's lounge. I got one job. Make sure the pictures go on the screen on time.
no.
Oh, sugar, honey. Ain't nobody gonna slap me. Okay, so Tommy meets the fellas in the men's lounge,
Not
and
slapped.
they pretty much go around the room, and Donovan tells Tommy that Sabrina and Tina meets Phil, and tells him that and Tommy actually asked Donovan. He was like, "You talking about Phil? Like my Phil?" He said, "Is Phil and Sydney still together?" And he said, "Yes, that they were still together at that time." Yes. Yes. And Phil said that he told him that he did like Sabrina more. Demetrius' friend says that him and Sabrina are a perfect fit for each other. Cliff's friend picks Joy, and he can see a romantic connection between the both of them. Paul's friend, if Paul wants a woman, then he needs to pick Dakia. If POJ picks a woman, it needs to be Carmen. And Tommy says pretty much you need to pick somebody that can handle both POJ and Paul. And then they go through pretty much who's on the top, who's on the bottom. Oh, and Tori does explain that Ace didn't come, and Tommy's like, "Why didn't she come?" And he's like, pretty much like, she self-eliminated. And he was like, "Next time that happened, can y'all call me?" And everybody was like, "Yeah." So they went through top and bottom. Carmen got a couple of dashes. Dakia got one. Tina got like 2. Sabrina got 1. Joy got 1 for pretty much being on the bottom. And Paul stands up for Dakia when I forgot who put her on the bottom, but he stands up for Dakia and he's like, "Wait a minute, but he was like, "But I like Dakia, so y'all just need to know that I like Dakia." And then I think he kind of stood up for Tina too, because those are his connections. Yeah. So does anyone have anything to say about this whole scene here? Because he does say that he's throwing a curveball. It was no elimination, so nobody got eliminated. Ace, we do know, did self-eliminated, and the curveball was that he was sending them away on a getaway for 2 nights.
Well, they couldn't eliminate anybody.
Exactly, because someone's
Yeah,
gone.
the numbers are
The
off,
numbers would
right?
be totally skewed. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, and Tommy's still a good friend of mine to this day. And I think he gives great advice. The advice that he gave Paul was, I think, just spot on. You need to find somebody that you can deal with on all sides of who you are.
Yep.
And I feel like that was that uncle hand on the shoulder. "Hey, young man, here's what you need to do." And to be honest, even during my season, when Tommy gave me advice, I actually listened to it and rolled by. He's been there, he's done it. And Ty, you'll probably say the same. I don't know if y'all, but he's just a really good mentor in that way.
He's a wise man. It comes off that way. It's impossible to not see and acknowledge that. You guys are in great hands when it comes to that. But like you said, it's up to the person whether or not they're going to actually listen and take it in or not. And good for you for actually taking it in, because he gives you golden nuggets. That's for sure.
He does. I mean, he's been married for forever and gone through it. And, I feel like comedians have the best stories because they've all had to get into their craft. They've almost had to just dive in and sacrifice everything else. I don't know a comedian that's successful that hasn't lived out of their car at some point. Well,
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what builds the character and the wherewithal to actually have the nuggets to give out. Because they weren't given to them, they were earned. And especially comedians, they come from a darker place in life, so to speak. They're able to turn the darkness into humor, which is their gift. And that's why they can have such great things to say.
I wasn't a comedian before, but I've definitely lived out of my car. So definitely.
Or entertainers. I mean, it's comedians, but it's also actors, like the entertainment field, I
would have lived out of my car if I didn't have a family and friends many a times, but thankfully I amazing friends and family that were there for me on my lows. You know, it's a
Mhm.
part of it.
Same. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take any of it back though, because if it weren't for those moments, just I'm sure, like Tommy would say,
Correct.
he wouldn't be where he is and who he is on that continual.
That's where you build. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
build.
beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay. So just to wrap it up, and I never, ever, ever, never, ever do this ever, but I have to do this. Okay. And then, but this is going to be, this is fun. This is going to be a fun one. And then y'all can say what y'all, okay. So here we go. So what y'all think about this picture?
Oh.
Get it.
Ooh.
Get it.
Well, I think that
I had
bag.
to do it. I had to do it.
I
I think
mean,
the
I'm
green
here
bag
for
is
it.
Clifton's,
Claim
and the
it.
blue one is Joy's. I'm just gonna think
I think the
that's
green
what's
one
coming
is-
to me right now.
Yeah.
No.
They're basically saying we don't give a damn no more. We here.
How we
I
gonna
love
be on a
it.
resort
It's a
and
wrap.
not? Yeah, it's a wrap.
I love it.
Right.
It's
Right.
so good.
They're so solid in their relationship. I mean, yeah.
Mhm. Love it all.
How would y'all say it? It's giving me ordered on Amazon vibes. You know what I'm
Hello.
Right?
Right.
You know, when they first sat
Get on
down,
Amazon.
Mhm.
yeah, when they first sat down and they were talking about their commonality in the sense that they don't want a
Mhm.
traditional, structured, stay in one place type of life. They like to be able to move and be adventurous. That type of lifestyle is reserved for the few, not many.
Rare.
And right then, that already says so much about you. To find somebody like that
Yeah.
is enough to just be like, and seen to where you just,
Mm-hmm.
you really are there to really start seeing if it's feasible, this connection, because the brute feels like it's there. They can count on each other to be and go as they please. And from that moment, it was just really apparent to me, like, how could it not? You know, unless they had some other shit that we didn't know about, played out the episodes, but it leads us to this picture right here, which might not be from the next episode. It might be in real life current time, for all I know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I loved when they started talking about their dads at that date. I mean, I knew they had chemistry and I was seeing everything, but that date where she fed him coconut and he sat through it, like, it's just all of it. I was
Right.
like, it's a wrap. Like, I've had so many feels watching that. It was amazing. That was it for me. It was a wrap for me with them too, with that scene.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, that's a lot. That's
What's a lot?
I mean, you take the episodes, so it's pretty much it's every couple of days, right? So you had the previous one where the key is feeding Clifton a olive,
The olive.
and then within a couple of days, the bags are on the bed. You know what I mean? Like, that's a progression like a motherfucker, you know?
I
Like,
think if the bags have been on the bed for a while already, that's the thing.
Correct. And
figuratively,
Takia knows it.
For sure.
Yeah.
They all know it.
figuratively.
Yeah.
But
Every green screen, Dakia mentions how she knows about Joy and Clifton. Like you said earlier, Gus, I think she's just there to entertain. And I'll feed you the olive. I'll talk about vagina. I'll show up sexy and be cute. And then I'm out because you're his. And that's it. Like, I see that.
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
Do y'all
songs
think
in my
y'all
head.
and you think that Takia actually has a solid match left on this show?
No.
Is that the face?
I said I wasn't gonna put up. I said I wasn't gonna put up no more pictures, but I had to do it.
I
That
love
is
it.
the face.
It was
So
relevant.
amazing.
It was relevant.
Yeah.
You almost
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
I love it.
Love.
They are done with the process, right? Like ain't no
That's-
need for them to fake
As
it
they
no
should
more.
be.
Is that the my
Yeah.
bags on the bed face? That's me.
Gosh.
She is such a
man.
phenomenal woman too.
She is.
She is just she's magic to me. Like, just everything, her perspective, the way she moves. I don't know. She just seems like an incredible human being. Don't know her. That's just what I gathered.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. Okay, guys. So
That was fun.
yeah,
We
I was
did
about
that.
to say, yeah, it was fun. It was absolutely fun. We always have a good time though when we all come together. So, and I appreciate you so much, guys, for doing this panel with me. Come back anytime. Like I say, I do try to bring on some of my YouTubers that I watched during the time when I was on the season to watch you guys' reviews, and now to have you on my panel and we're reviewing. It's just such a blessing. I'm so honored and so grateful for the opportunity. And I just want to definitely let you guys know that, and that I loved you then and I love you even more now. So
Yes.
Stop.
yeah, no, but it's true because you guys know I would slide in every chance I get and
You
just
loved
be
it.
like, hey, and just showing much love and support is, what I could do because I couldn't really talk much. But I definitely want you guys to go through and let everybody know what your handles are, where they can follow you, what you do if you want to give a shout out or any information, just to, put yourselves out there so they can follow you as well on your platforms. So we can start with Jamie.
What up, y'all? Jamie Alexander here, and an on-camera host. And you can find me on Instagram, right Chian. And make sure to spell my name right, Jaimi. That's it. On to this guy.
Tyrone.
What's going on, everybody? Tyrone E. Wilson. Don't forget the E. But Ty Wilson at Ty Wilson 21 everywhere on social media. Follow me. Might see some things. Might see some more reveals.
Ooh, watch the story.
Right,
Here's where I gotta start following.
I got the tea tonight.
Now that
I
it's
got
out,
the
the juice
exclusive.
You
tonight.
sure did. You got
yeah,
the juice.
saying now that it's out officially.
I got the exclusive.
Exclusive.
And Gustavo, go ahead.
Yeah. Gustavo Victor Carr is all my handles. Twitter, which I'm not on much. TikTok, which is pretty good. I should get on it more. And Instagram. I'm an actor, though. I'm an artist. I just love entertaining myself with my best friend, who is a host, and talking about the show because I love. So if you want to just follow me on my journey of my acting career and my entertainment industry, which has been 30 fucking years, you might have seen me in Bring It On, Shameless, on Star. I've been doing this for a really long time. Continue to follow me on my ups, my lows, my highs, my beauties, my uglies. Then feel free to hit me up on Gustavo Victor Carr on my Instagram, and you'll see all of that. That's for sure.
Jay.
Jay Bradley, man. I'm just big ups to my boy Ty. I know this is my part, but I've followed your journey, of course, watching you on the show, bro, and to see you smile and say it's amazing. Like that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Son
dope,
is
bro.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, a round of applause.
Big steps, bro.
Yeah, it's
Like,
been really good. Yeah.
And it probably feels good. So I'm glad I was here to like be a part of this moment. I feel like it's a little historical thing, man. So I love. But Jay Brad on Instagram, and then doing a podcast with Joy and myself. Not Joy from this season because Clifton ain't about that action, and I'm okay. But Joy from my season, and we just have a good time talking about relationships. We got a real cool episode coming up Wednesday at 8:00 Central Standard Time. And we're going to talk about, we haven't even released it yet, but I'll tell y'all, we're going to talk about power couples. And it's just so crazy that this whole Will Smith thing has happened, which is going to slide in perfectly to it. So we have fun. We have a good time and tear it up. And it's good stuff. So that's at Failure TWO Communicate, Failure to Communicate on YouTube and on Instagram.
Yes. And everybody knows on Fridays, I do have my live watch party where I actually sit and watch the episode with you guys on YouTube. You can follow me here on my YouTube, and you can follow me on my Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me pretty much on Facebook. You can follow me everywhere. And my handle everywhere is Miss Sabrina Soul. Definitely check out, I have these new earrings on my website as well. You can check these out. These are the simple and gold hoop earrings, and you can check me out every Mondays here where I do my reviews with my great panelists. And other than that, but thank you so much, guys. I love you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed, because we have some amazing content coming your way. And don't forget to comment down below if it's anything and any ideas that we haven't done yet that you could shoot our way and we might do next time. Anyway, love you guys so much. Have a great day, and I heart you. Bye.
Peace.
Heart. Peace.